supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I 200 down, down again, here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Buffalo Wings and Rings. This is Lake Cumberland Sports broadcast of, I'll get it right yet. All right, that's a do-over, Pat. We're off on ground one. This is Buffalo Wings and Rings. We are on South 27. It is a beautiful night inside, not too nice outside, but this is Lake Cumberland Sports' annual look at high school baseball and softball here in Pulaski County. And we're going to talk to coaches from each of the 8 teams. And we're going to start with Coach Brad Gover of Pulaski County High School. Coach, good to see you.
Good to be here.
I read your text when you sent me last night. I think I ought to just read that and then turn you loose. You said something about you think you guys might be pretty good this year.
We should be. Yeah. From what I've seen so far, we got a good shot to be pretty good.
Well, last year, let's set the standards. I mean, last year you were a run away from playing in the state tournament. You all lost in the finals of the 12th, so nothing to be ashamed of there. But I know this year you've got a handful of players that everybody's going to recognize the names when you get to talking. But your text to me said something along the lines of, we anticipate, or our goals are to run the district slate, win the region slate, and go up to Crop and do a little damage in Lexington in the big tournament. So your expectations are pretty high.
Yeah, I put a lot of expectations on this group. I think they can handle it.
You want to start with just some of your players that everybody needs to know their name, or
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with it.
Most of them's been around.
I know. I recognize.
I'm sure everybody, if they come around to the field this year, they're going to recognize them. We've got 2 seniors, one Bella Ellis. I'm looking for a huge season out of her. Was at the field yesterday, and she doesn't skip a beat. I mean, she's hitting the ball as good as she's ever has, and she's going to be a great leader this year. Looking to put her on the mound a little more. Going to rest Brooklyn as much as possible, but Brooklyn she'll be our workhorse.
Well, you do have the 2 names you've just mentioned, and I'll get out of the way, but those are 2 pitchers that everybody knows. And again, Brooklyn Thomas, we'll let you expand on that a little bit. But isn't that a luxury to have Bella as a number 2?
Well, we've got another one, Maggie Gregory, as well.
Okay.
So last year, she had a hurt shoulder. She had surgery prior to the season, so we didn't use her. And she's a lefty. She got great accuracy. She's got just a whole drawer full of pitches. So. You got Brooklyn that can throw the ball. She's throwing it 65 plus.
Yes.
Right now. I mean, last year she was great.
And
she's
for
even
reference, 65 plus, that's D1 stuff already.
Definitely.
Yes.
But going back to our seniors, Bella, she's going to be a great leader for us this year. It seems like she's been there. She reminds me of my daughter. It seems like she's been there forever.
Your daughter did play, 6 years?
She played since she was 6th grader.
6th grader.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And then they changed the rule, and it went to 7th grade, but that was the year after she had already completed her 6th grade year. So, Bella's going to be, she's an all-state caliber player this year. Last year she had 17 home runs. I expect her to hit 20 plus this year. I mean, without a doubt. I did make a tough schedule.
I noticed. We'll get to that here at the end of this.
So that might have something to do with it, but I expect huge things out of her. Our other senior is Taylor Ralston. She's in basketball right now. Last year was her first year playing with us. She was a role player. She came in and she ran for us. She started a few games at second base, done a great job. She's a great girl to have on the team.
Right.
She is looking for everybody to do good. She celebrates with them. She's one of those that she's an unbelievable teammate. If she doesn't get in that game, you never see a frown on her face.
Right.
She's always uppity up and just cheering the girls on. And I see her getting, some more innings this year. Now we've got a ton of juniors. We've got, I can go down the list here.
Let's do.
We got Brooklyn Thomas, Shelby Sellers, Claire Hamilton, Avery Davis, Ryan Souter, Julie Bullock, and Kylie Zimmerman. We've got Kylie Zimmerman. She played a lot of JV last year. She's transitioned over. She used to play first base. She still will some, but she has transitioned over to being a catcher. So that might come in handy for us, down the road. As last year, our starting catcher, her season ended in the district tournament.
Yes.
That hurt.
And that did hurt.
That hurt.
Well, I'll interrupt you just a little bit, but in softball, you better have a pitcher. Mm-hmm. You better have a catcher. Because if you don't have those two ingredients, teams are going to run you blind or steal you blind or whatever. Put those two out there and some strength in the infield at the corners and people to hit it every now and then. You got a pretty good recipe for a winning team.
Oh, yeah. And we got Julie Bullock. She's been with us ever since she was a freshman. A great team player. She didn't get a lot of innings last year, but she is swinging the bat really good right now. She is strong. She hits it hard. She just does everything that you ask her to do. Then we have Ryan Souter, which is our third baseman. Mm-hmm. She ended up last year, I think she had 3 home runs, and that's what I was looking at today. I see her being a girl that hits double-digit home runs this year. The way she's hit the ball, from early in this year, school year, at open fields, and she's going to be a very tough out. She hits it hard. And she's got a great glove at third. She played the corner well for us last year. Another one was Avery Davis. She played right field 99% of the time last year until we had to do the shuffle from our catcher getting hurt. Right. She's going to play. She'll play some right field, but she may play some center field this year for us. We're going to experiment a little bit because I want my center fielder to be a staple out there, and we had to use Claire as a catcher, so then we had to shift everybody. And center field's something that you got to get used to.
Yes,
you got to get comfortable out there. So I can foresee Claire going behind the plate as well. With sometime during the season, so we can rest Novi. But then we have Claire Hamilton, which I just spoke on. Claire is one of those girls that every coach needs. She can play any position on the field except pitch. She can catch for you. She can hold it down behind the plate. If you was at any of our regional games, she started every game in region. She done well. She can play outfield. She can play second base on the infield. And she's got a good bat. She got a lot of speed. She just knows the game. We have Shelby Sellers, which will be playing a lot of shortstop. Which that's a huge task. You got to be somewhat of that team leader when you play that position, and I think she will be. She's gotten comfortable with it because that's Brooklyn's spot when she's in the field.
Right.
But Brooklyn's going to be on the mound a lot.
I think that's a given, right?
Yes. And Shelby's got a great bat. She's probably the most unlucky girl as far as hitting the ball hard as anybody on the field, but hitting it right at somebody. But
that tends to even out over time.
It does. And she is hitting the ball. She's not skipped a beat. She's just gotten stronger, more mature, and she's hitting the ball well. And then you got Brooklyn Thomas. She's a force. They don't make them like that.
She's a generational athlete.
She is.
You don't see them every day.
She is. She definitely is. She's the best player in this region. I mean,
she's legit.
I'll just go ahead and tell you. She's throwing it 65 plus. she's worked on a couple other pitches, which I won't mention, but it's pitches that I have wanted her to, work on and get better at, and she has. That's all she does. She's taking lessons 2 times a week. She has all year. That's where she's at right now. She's on her way here. Just talked to her, and she's on her way here. She didn't want to miss it, but she didn't want to miss her lessons.
She's putting in the work.
She puts in the work, I'm telling you.
The other thing about her, she's a heck of a basketball player. Let's don't lose sight of that. And she made, in my opinion, a big girl decision at an age when we're not really usually called on to make those decisions.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to play softball at
Yes.
the next level. I'm going to dedicate myself to it. And some people may have had an issue with that. I take that as somebody who knows what they want. They know the work. They know what it takes, and they're willing to do it.
Yes, they know that's her sport in college, and you can go out and get an injury and you're done.
Yep.
But she is a generational athlete on the softball field. I mean, with her size, she's 5'9", 160, and she hits it as hard as anybody in the state of Kentucky.
I would say you've got 3 or 4 on the team that when I watch them play, the ball comes off the bat.
I see her this year hitting. She may hit 20 home runs. She may do it. She'll be the best pitcher in the region, and I think she'll be the overall best player. I don't think there's any question. But
Well, we look forward to seeing her.
yes, and then on my sophomores, I got Novi Baker, and what I like about Novi right now is she's taking the initiative. She's going to lessons every time Brooklyn does. Her and Brooklyn go as a pair, so she's working catching as Brooklyn's working on her pitching with the pitching coach. So that's going to pay dividends because I don't have to worry about working them as much because I'm sending them to lessons. And they're both going and working together, so
Right.
you can't. That is very valuable. They're going to know each other so well. They've been doing it since the summer. But Novi, she got injured. She was coming on late. She's a great contact hitter. She was one of our more consistent hitters late in the year, and then she goes down. And I thought, we can kind of fill that position behind the plate because Claire can hold it down.
Right.
But her bat made a huge difference.
Yeah.
It put a dent in the lineup. Then we've got Kinsley Crabtree. That'll be our second baseman. She's a solid player. She didn't hit as much last year. But I see her hitting more this year. Great teammate. She's one of the best as far as personality and just being around the girls. Very mature. Just a wonderful kid. Then I've got a new one that came in, Kaylee Lovett. She's a sophomore this year. She hasn't played a whole lot, but she's got a good work ethic. She does everything that we ask her to do, and she's putting her time in. Freshman, we got Riley Ross. Now, Riley injured her knee in basketball this year, but she's coming around. She's already coming down. She's swinging the bat. She'll be ready to go 1st of April. So, if anybody's doubting that, then
That's good news for you.
it's very good news because Riley is one of those girls that can be a top 5 player in the region.
Yep.
I've always said it. I said, this girl is good. She can do about everything. Strong, got good hands, great at bats. She catches the ball well, throws it well. She runs well. She's somebody that you don't need to lose. You got to have her. Then we got Maggie Gregory. You didn't see her on the mound a lot last year, but you will this year. You'll see her more on the mound this year. She's a lefty. She's got a lot of wrinkles in her pitch. Tough to hit. Her bat has gotten tons better. She's a very, very good contact hitter now, and she's got a lot of power. She can hit it hard, and she's on the left side of the plate. I see a big year coming for her. She didn't play much in the field last year, but she can play first base. She can play the outfield. She's another one of those girls that you can put her in a lot of different places and feel comfortable. But I think she's going to help a lot on the mound just for our rest with Brooklyn a lot. Then we've got Ashley Maston, Layla Collins, and Aubrey Warren. They're all 3 new. They've come out, so we accepted them on the team. They're great. They're great teammates. They're learning. They haven't played a lot in the past, but they're learning. They're willing to do what you ask them to do. And then we've got an 8th grader, Scarlett Hamilton. That's Claire Hamilton's sister. She's a pretty good player. She can play anywhere on the field.
That's a pretty good look at your roster, Coach. And again, the other thing we'll remind everybody, this is Lake Cumberland Sports' look at baseball and softball coaches show. We're here for the next couple hours with all 8 local coaches. Coach Gover, if you had to look at the region, obviously Mercer County was the theme that got in your way last year, and I'll just leave it there. That was a heck of a finish. If you look at the 12th right now, well, let's look at the district first. Somerset is going to be pretty good from what I understand. Casey was better last year. Are they going to be solid again?
I'd say that they're gonna be a tough out. You have to come ready to play. Let's see Brooklyn. No,
I saw
they're coming in.
She was beating on the window. So Casey will be a tough out.
Yeah.
What about Rock? Rock always seems to have some pretty good athletes.
They can say Rock's not going to be very good, or they're going to be good, or whatever. Rock's always solid.
That's what I thought.
They're always solid. They got girls that can play. They play hard. They're there every year.
So you've got a district that's got 4 pretty good baseball or softball teams, in it.
Yes.
And let's jump to the 12th, because you can't say we don't have to worry about the district, but if things go to plan, you all will be in the 12th region tournament. Let's just
That's our plan.
leave it that way. And who do the people who are going to follow us this year? We'll probably have 6-8 of your broadcast, and then come district and region, we'll have all of your all's broadcast too. Who do we need to look out for?
Mercer's still going to be
Okay.
pretty good. I think East Jessamine is going to be. They're going to be sneaky good.
That's 2 pretty common names in the 12th.
Yes, and then Boyle County is going to be stinky good.
Nothing new
They were
then,
done
right?
last year,
Yeah.
and you can't overlook them. You just can't. I'd like to play them. I've tried to play them for years past, but for some reason he don't like to schedule anybody in the region, or he doesn't like to schedule us. That's for sure.
When we look at schedules, and I have looked at yours, and this sport and football and basketball and everything else, you notice there are certain schools that we never see down on this end of the region. They just don't come down here.
No.
And I know it's such a long trip, and 27's a bad road, and all that. I'm kidding. There's a lot of coaches that just avoid playing some of the local schools.
Yes. I don't understand it. Some of them, they try to hide their stuff, and until they meet you or possibly meet you in the region, but I've never been that way. I don't care.
No, your schedule, we won't get a chance to go over all of it, but
Well, we've got.
I know.
All you got to do is get online and look at it. We've got South Warren and Ballard and Harrison County and Madison Central, and we schedule. I look to have the toughest schedule every year, because
I know you.
I don't like. My thing is, if I have a ball game, I got to have something to get excited about.
Well,
And-
how is Brooke Thomas at the peak? She's just got up over there. Is the reason I said at the peak of her game. How does she get better unless she faces good competition?
know.
If she goes out here and strikes out everybody that comes up to the plate, what did you learn?
Yeah, that's
You
the
learned
way.
she was better than the rest of them. but-
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And she's one that wants to compete every minute. She's like, if someone gets a hit off of her, you ought to see her in the dugout.
Takes
She's
it
like,
personal.
I can't wait until I get to pitch her again. I just can't wait.
I've got a story I'll tell you off air about a local competitor, also of another school, and they have the same comment that you just had. Said she don't even like it when you get a hit on her, and I'll leave it at that. All right, we have got a couple minutes left. Getting ready a little earlier this year, but I say that your program does not have a dead season. You all go right out of the end of the year and go back into playing summer ball and fall ball and workouts and conditioning. This is a commitment that has a whole lot of months in it.
It does, and I've took a different approach to it this past year. We've got so many playing travel. We've got so many playing going on, doing their individual lessons. we haven't had a lot of open fields. We haven't gotten together. If we do, it's just to have some fun, get the
Yes.
girls together. Where some teams will, we got to go 3-4 times a week. We got to do it. That's not the case. That just beats the girls down. It doesn't do anything for them. Give us 3 or 4 weeks prior to a game.
And I know you're a winner. I've been around you enough, and I look at it this way: winning's fun.
It's fun.
And if you do a sport that takes as much time, effort, and talent as this, you need to have fun while you're doing it. And I know you guys do. I see some of the stuff. So we've just got a few seconds. You want to thank anybody before we crank this thing up?
Well, yeah, thank you all for having this. And I probably need to thank my wife for allowing me to continue to do this.
I guarantee that.
She said now, I talked to her today, and she said, well, I said, we've got the show tonight. She goes, I understand. She said, I don't expect to see you for the next 4 or 5 months.
I was going to say, see you in 5 months.
Yeah, so, I got to thank her, and then my coaching staff,
Right.
Bethany Gover and Jeff Gregory. They're huge helps, whether it's working on the field, getting to the field early, talking to the girls, whatever we got to do, they're there and ready to do it. And then our administration, Coach Brian Miller, he looks out for us, does everything that we ask him to do, and he's one of the main reasons that our programs are the way they are.
He deserves a little credit. The
Yes.
man puts the time in. Okay, they're giving me the we got to go look. So we got to go. Brad Gover, thank you. Look forward to seeing your kids on the field, or your players on the field. They're not kids, they're young ladies. Look forward to seeing them on the field this year, and best of luck, and I hope we're talking late May, early June.
No, we will be.
Good to see you, man. He's Brad Gover, Pulaski County Maroons. We're going to bring in the other half of the Pulaski County coaching staff as Kent Mayfield, the boys' version, was going to join us. And while he comes in and gets a headset on, I'm going to remind everybody we are at Buffalo Wings and Rings on South 27. They've got all kinds of stuff going on, and a pretty good-looking, a pretty big crowd. I said good-looking, and Bob Boone was looking at that. That doesn't even work. Kent Mayfield's going to join us, head ball coach at Pulaski County. And, Coach, first of all, this isn't baseball weather outside, but it's almost baseball time, and I know a few baseball junkies, and you're one of them. And I put myself in the same crowd. It's almost baseball season, man.
Well, the calendar says baseball season, but it sure don't look like it, does it?
Well, we do this. This is Kentucky. But Pulaski County boys coming in this year, you've got some holes to fill. There are a couple of pretty good baseball players slipped on out of your program last year. Good year last year. I know I won't put words in your mouth, but I think you thought it came to a quicker halt than it was going to. Just a tough night when Southwestern made some plays.
Sure.
And you can't take that away from them. But this year, what are we going to see? Well, first of all, I know a couple guys we're going to see, but what are we going to see out of Pulaski this year?
Well, we have some talented young guys who have been patiently waiting. As you mentioned, we graduated over the last 2 years. We've graduated an abundance of talent. We have a lot of guys, 5 guys I think, playing college ball right now, and so we have a lot of guys who have been working and waiting. We do not return a lot of varsity experience. Everyone knows Carter Ross. They know Chase Farmer. And, of course, those two will be a huge part of what we do. But the rest of the guys, the names that I'm going to mention, if you followed us closely, you may recognize a few names. Or if you're a friend of the program and around a lot, you may. But we have a lot of guys with opportunities to make some noise, not only in the district but in the region. Like I said, we did not return a whole lot of experience, but we do return some athletes. And
If I have my way, I want you to start with those young men and go down the list and just let's comment on them as we go. I know the parents and other people would much rather hear you talk about the kids than me to ramble on about something.
Right. Well, it's probably important to preface our conversation by saying we're still in the process of trying out.
You told me that, and again, I understand that.
So there'll be, we have a lot of guys who have decided not to play. I don't mean a lot of guys, but we have some guys who have decided not to play. We We have some guys that we didn't know were coming out who have decided to play.
Excellent.
We also have guys who are still deciding if they're going to play, and that's just like you said before. That's just February, you know.
And you've got a couple of 3 that are still playing basketball.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, we hope they play a long, long time. But we'll be waiting on them with open arms when they come. But I've mentioned Carter and Chase Farmer. You know, I guess working backwards, you know, the biggest name that comes to my mind, and he had not a lot of injuries, but he had an injury last year, was Hargis.
Yes.
Cade, he is going to be one that I feel like can just explode onto the scene as a baseball player, and he is a basketball player, and we love watching him play. And like I said, I hope they play and go to the state tournament. And I mean, we're going to be the biggest fans that can be, but he is one that we're looking forward to having a breakout year.
He's a foxhole guy, too. He's the kind of guy that if trouble breaks out, I want him with me because I love the way he plays, whatever the sport is.
Right. I think that's the hardest sport.
It is.
You know?
It's part of the family. I agree.
I've been fortunate enough to coach a lot of the Hargis boys, and excited to have a healthy year, hopefully with Cade. Other young guys, I say young, they're juniors, but again, they have been caught behind talented kids. You know, Chase Easterly, he's going to be a big part of our pitching staff this year. He's going to play some infield. You know, we're excited about his future. Skylar Stringer, he was thrown into some very difficult situations, particularly on the mound last year. And he's got a little dog in him. He loves to compete. He's not scared of anything. Got a great left-handed swing. We're really super excited for Skylar. And again, he has some varsity experience, but he's getting ready to have a lot more. You know, Dawson Branscombe will be a big part of our pitching staff. He's sick right now. We got a ton of guys sick with the flu. You know, there's some guys, some freshmen that I haven't met yet that are playing basketball, and we look forward to getting them. You know, Will Adams.
Good athlete.
Oh, yeah, great athlete, great kid. You know, we met with him earlier today. We're having individual meetings, and, you know, it's just, he's just the type of kid you want. He works hard. He's super respectful. He's got a world of talent, and he's a kid, you know, we were talking to him kind of about positions, and, you know, he could catch and be our best catcher. He could play outfield and be our best outfielder. Sure, he has ways to go, but we're super excited about him and his future.
He's another one of those, they call them dogs, some people do. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
Whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, I love to watch him play.
Right, absolutely. Caleb Todd, which is
Yes.
his older brother, played for us, Jacob JT. He's also sick, has the flu, but he is a southpaw on the mound. He hits right-handed, so he got his wires crossed somehow. He throws left-handed.
Throws
and hits
left, hits right. That's okay.
And he's what we call raw, but he's got a ton of potential. I'm excited to get to watch him grow this year on the mound. He plays infield as well, and he's got a nice swing. He's a good kid. Another young guy, Ian Hutchinson. He met with him today as well. Just a hard worker. You know, he's been with us lifting weights and conditioning since September. He comes every day. He's got the right mindset, great attitude. He's gonna be a great player for us. Is there any any specific positions or anything you want me to talk about?
Oh, I want you to talk about the kids. So you've been hitting a bunch of them, and again.
Okay, I guess an upperclassman that we're super excited about that will play second, possibly play outfield is Dylan Wesley. He's hitting the ball really well right now. He's growing into a leadership role. He's been behind, two of the best catchers in the 12th region, and he's learned a lot from them. He's learned way more from them than he has from me, but he's been working hard, been a great leader, and we're excited about him. Again, he gives us the ability to where he can catch and he can play second, and if I needed him to, he can play first. He can play outfield. We're excited about Dylan as well. Cal Miller, just the sky's the limit for Cal. He's got a great swing. He's got a great attitude, unbelievable work ethic. He can play third. He can play outfield. He can play. He can catch. He also pitches for us. He's got a great future, and we're super excited about him. He's another one that's been in the weight room all winter and all fall. He's gotten noticeably stronger, and couldn't be more proud of him and anxious to get to coach him and watch him grow and develop. We got sophomore Kason Finley. Talked to him today too. He's a pitcher, catcher, outfielder. Has a lot of potential for us. Don't want to leave out our senior. I know you were wanting us to talk about younger guys, and we will. But I just saw him mention we have a short amount of time left, so I want to make sure we talk about Carter Ross.
Go for it. We kind of skimmed over Ross at the start of this, and I think he's a unique talent. He's pretty good.
Yes.
He throws it real hard.
Right. He's got a world of potential on the mound, and I say potential because I don't think he's reached where he's going to go. He's going to pitch after high school. It'll just be a matter of where. I wanted to bring his name up because we've all, when I say all, I mean my coaching staff, and we've just been so impressed with his leadership. Carter has always been a great teammate, and he has a wonderful personality, but that whole leadership side, we hadn't seen a whole lot of it. And now he's getting to come forth and do that. And he's been super for our young guys. He works so well with the pitchers. He's like Coach Jones is our pitching coach, but Carter's right there. He watches bullpens. He gives suggestions. He really understands his craft. And I wanted to make sure we talked about Carter.
Let's also, we skimmed over Mr. Farmer pretty quickly too, and I've been following him kind of off season with some of the summer ball and stuff like that, and they put up stuff that I don't even know what all of it means anymore that they put up about players, but it looks like he's been getting some quality play.
Yeah, we could talk about his metrics, and he has really good metrics. He's already signed to Division I. He's another one that's come in and embraced the leadership role. He's a tremendous talent. Where he started and where he is now has been unbelievable to watch. And where he's at now and where he is in 3 years will also be fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's truly has a ton of potential, and it's going to be fun to watch him his entire career. But when I say it's, there's been a big difference between when he started and where he is now, a lot of that is, he puts a tremendous amount of pressure on himself, and this game is so hard. And it takes a certain level of maturity to accept failure.
You and we'll agree on this. If you're looking for a sport that's easy to play, don't play baseball.
Right.
It's a game of failure, and you're trying to hit a round object with a round object, and a lot of things that are involved in the physics of just the game. But the mental side, I'm with you. If you can't go 0 for 4 and come back the next day knowing you're going to go 2 for 4 or 3 for 4, this game will get over you.
Right. And you have to be your best friend.
Yes.
You have to be as good a teammate to yourself as you are to your teammates. And he's come a long way with that. And we want him to be competitive.
Right.
And we want him to put pressure on himself. But he also has to give himself some grace and understand that it's a super hard game, and he's playing at a very, very high level. And we're excited to watch him because he's also going to throw for us some this year. He threw a bullpen the other day. I saw the tail end, and he looked really, really nice.
We've got about 5 minutes or so left. We're at Buffalo Wings and Rings. This is Lake Cumberland Sports annual coaches show. We are interviewing all 8 of our local high school baseball and softball coaches. Kent Mayfield is with me. I just did this so he could maybe catch his breath. I've been having him to work too hard over here. Coach, any other kids you want to get in, and we'll use the last 5 minutes to talk a little bit about baseball in general.
Well, sure. Another junior that's coming on, I don't want to miss Edgar Ramirez. He's one of the harder workers on our team. He too puts a lot of pressure on himself. He's growing into a nice player. He can play infield. He can play outfield. We're excited about Edgar. Sebastian Guzman. He's an unbelievable outfielder. He gets a terrific jump on the ball. We've been fortunate since I've been back coaching these last few years to have really good outfielders, and I think that outfield defense may be one of our strengths of our team this year, and Sebastian's going to be one that, he'll be right in the mix of everything in center field, left field. He can play right as well. Ben Gaskin's another kid, tremendous speed, tremendous upside, super quick bat, super athletic, probably the fastest kid I've coached.
Wow.
And I've coached a few because
You've had a couple, yes.
and so we're excited about Ben as well. There's some other kids, like I mentioned, playing basketball right now. Levi Stykes, heard great things about him. I've seen limited action of him when he was in middle school. We're excited to get him. We know he's a really good talent on the mound, good hitter. And I believe he plays the corner, so we'll see. But we're looking forward to seeing him as well. Avery Wesley's another corner guy, plays first base. He's a big, strong kid, swings the bat pretty good still, super attitude, great kid to be around, works hard, great, just represents our program in a first-class manner. And really all of these guys do. We're fortunate. Kellen Jones, Jacob Denny, Tanner Bell, those are my coaches. I couldn't do it without them. We're all extremely grateful and lucky to get to work with
Those
these
are
kids.
baseball nuts, too. All 3 of those. They are true baseball guys.
They sure are, and I'm super thankful for them. And then Jeremy Toohey, he does all of our preseason and in-season training. We're super thankful for Jeremy and what he does. I hope I haven't left anyone out.
We're going to thank Brian Miller because
Absolutely.
we have to. That's in our contract. No, Coach Miller, I'm just kidding. I know he knows that. How about the 12th region? And better yet, how about the district? I know Somerset's got a lot of arms back, so they're going to be pretty good, I would assume. I never know anything in advance about Casey County because some of the names come and go and disappear.
Right.
Do you know anything about Casey and Rock right now?
Well, Rockcastle County returns a lot. They were really young last year.
Yes, they were.
They had a really young coach, a new coach. I don't know how old he was, but he was new, and he did a really good job. So they're going to be solid. They did not lose much. Of course, we all know Somerset returns a tremendous amount of talent, and they're going to be phenomenal. And Casey County, they did lose a lot, and I know they have a new coach. I haven't got to meet him yet.
Okay.
So we'll be watching the scores early to see kind of how they, and hopefully we'll get to see them before we play them.
Right.
Because those district games are so important. But
and you all bunch them up. I love that. I mean, you get them all where if you happen to be not hitting the ball very well, and you're in a 6 or 8 game span where you play all your district games, that's not good. I guess the optimist would say if you're on fire, it can be the opposite of that. But as far as the region, the usual suspects.
Sure. Again, Somerset, I think, will be right up there at the top. Mercer County, West Jess, they'll be good. Southwestern, played in the region finals last year, going to be right there. It's going to be fun.
Coach Gover out at Southwestern, Bob Boone's going to interview him in just a few minutes, and he's another baseball guy. I really enjoy his time together. But Coach, final thoughts. We've got about a minute, and let's use it wisely.
Well, we're just super excited to get started. Hope the weather changes. I was standing over here and I heard Gover thank his wife, so I better do.
You better.
Yeah, she's a true coach's wife. Been doing this a long time. Couldn't do it without her support. She gets fired up as much as I do. She's been through a lot of ups and downs.
Well, I'm going to say this about you. You're a stand-up guy, and I love talking to you. I'm looking forward to when we talk a little baseball when somebody's not sitting over there on the other side of the camera telling us to wrap this thing up. So, Ken Mayfield, head man at the Pulaski County Baseball, we thank you for your input. We wish you the best this year. We're going to see you right around the corner at a baseball field on a sunny day.
Can't wait. Appreciate what you all do for us.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for the access, and once again, best of luck this year.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
We are going to step out for a second. We're going to take a break, and after this break, Bob Boone will take over the reins, and we're going to interview the Southwestern staff. Bob?
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different reading services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to be 175, here to be 175, 2. I 200 down, again, here to be in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to our 2025. That's incredible, isn't it? 2025. Look at high school baseball and softball. And Bob Boone now joined by head coach of the Southwestern Lady Warriors softball team, Kevin Dalton. And first of all, Coach, good to see you. It's hard to believe we're already talking about spring sports in this new year.
Yeah, the weather has been pretty terrible to be able to get out on the field, but I'm looking forward to it myself. I just turned 50 this year, so it's hard to believe.
All right. Bones hurt a little more than they used to. Snap, crackle. It's like getting out of bed. It's like eating a bowl of Rice Krispies. Snap, crackle, and pop.
That's right.
I get it. Coach, it's always good to visit with you and looking forward to this upcoming season. And this will be your fourth season at the helm of the Southwestern Lady Warriors. You've had a pretty good run. There's not many guys that can say in their first 3 years they came home with district championships.
Yeah. Back-to-back region championship appearances, too, so.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
And looking this year, want to get over that hump and take that regional championship, get that title, move on to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, that's always the goal, you know. the whole thing, my whole model since I've been here is kind of like breaking down doors and trying to do things that's never been done, and that's still the goal. And we'll see how this season folds out.
So, Coach, last year, again, a pretty successful season for your squad. You won 25 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
You mentioned made it to a regional championship. You had a young squad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things gonna be looking really good coming into this new season because those young girls got a lot of playing time,
Yeah.
and you got a lot of, some people look and say, oh, it's still a young roster, but they're experienced.
Yeah, we are pretty experienced in places. Last year we come up short there in the first round. We left 9 runners on base, and that still stings to this day. A lot of girls still talk about it. We just couldn't get the big hit, but we were pretty young last year, and we were the only team in the region that didn't return 1 inning of pitching.
Oh, wow.
And so that's very hard to in this game to win when you're young and pitching. But we pitched it all year pretty good, and at the end of the year we were playing pretty good. We just come up short in that game.
Well, let's look at 2025. How are you looking for pitching coming into this season?
We're still young. We lost a pitcher, but we got some pitchers coming back this year. You got Abby White-Scarver, who pitched over 50 innings last year. Jayla Singleton, she pitched 60, 70 innings last year. Pitched in a region tournament, had 9 strikeouts in that game. Only gave up 3 hits, and we look for her to do some great things. And then I have a girl on my roster who I've been trying to get to play for 5 years, seems like 4 years at school, Hallie Norville. She is a Division I commitment in volleyball, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, she's going to pitch some, and my daughter Kylie Dalton has been pitching a little bit this off season, and she'll just do whatever's asked the team. So I think we'll be okay as the season goes on.
Let's talk a little bit about Hallie Norville, and I know we don't want to focus on just one player, but what does her being a senior, even though she's not hasn't played softball, bringing some of that really good quality championship style experience to your squad from the volleyball court?
She's an extremely mature kid. She reminds me a lot of Caitlin Gwynn and how she, not how she pitches, but just how she holds herself. And she's really mature, and she's been well coached through her life with her parents, and she's only ever played varsity sports. Even she was at North Laurel and South Laurel and played, in middle school she played high school ball, and we actually played against her 4 years ago. So, she brings just a calming presence to the team. She's kind of the kids really really respect her.
Good pitchers got to have somebody to catch the softball, and of course they always talk about in this diamond sport, you got to be strong up the middle, so not just on the mound, but defensively. Let's talk about your catching, and then we'll go to the middle of the infield and the outfield. Let's work it that way for a change.
Yeah, I've been blessed at Southwestern to have great catchers, and I do now, and I got 4 that I could catch every night. I got Bella Lowry has caught for me ever since 8th grade, and she's kind of got a little injury right now. So, and I also got Chloe Carroll. I know you know her well. Mm-hmm. She's a Division I commitment to UT Chattanooga.
Oh, wow!
And she catches, and she also plays multiple positions. And then my daughter Kylie can catch, and then Zoe Lowry, Bella's sister, is a really really good catcher. She's got a great arm, and so I think we're okay in that category. And like you said, you got to have a strong middle to win.
So let's talk about second base, shortstop.
I can go I feel like this year I'm going to try to be more. I'm going to move people around, play people in different spots, and showcase kind of athleticism that we have. I got Chloe Carroll can play shortstop. Kylie Dalton played shortstop. Got Bryn Troxel can play shortstop. I've got, I got Kinsley Molden's new to this. She's going to play. I finally talked her into playing. She's a senior. And, it's good to have kids like that that are winners. She's probably going to play a little bit in middle infield, and
another one of those that's a senior that's going to bring some leadership qualities.
Yes.
She knows what it's like, and of course, you've kind of you've coached her before.
Yes.
In that other sport
That's
where
right.
Kinsley excels.
Well,
I know you're an assistant on the basketball staff. But,
when you've played on the Rupp Arena's floor 3 times, I mean, you're not afraid of anything. And
No.
she's not afraid of anything. I call her Mo Money. I love her for that. And I also got Abby Whitescarver, who can play shortstop, second base, pitcher, center field, left field, right field, first base, third base. She can play it
The
all.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, and Chloe Carroll's the same way. I got multiple players that can play multiple positions, and my goal this year is to exploit that and show people that we can play some softball too.
comes in handy as the season wears on. Doesn't really matter the sport. Injuries are, sometimes they're inevitable. You're going to unfortunately get some of those, even if you just get bangs, bumps, and bruises. Be nice because you have a heavy schedule. You're going to play quite a few games, but it's good to have those folks. Now you mentioned, getting out there in center field. I do remember watching Abby Whitescarver.
Yes.
That girl can track down a softball from it. See, you're like, that's in the gap, and you're like, no, here she is.
She has a unique way of playing it. She plays it shallow, and a lot of people don't believe in that, but I trust her. She's a really good center fielder. She, Bryn Troxel is also has a center field body. She's a great athlete. Can play shortstop, left field, center field. I plan on playing her all over the place, and. Chloe Carroll will probably play center field in college at UT Chattanooga. She's always been just a great outfielder, and we got multiple options that we can go with. I think we'll be fine there.
Let's talk about the corners in the infield.
I can go multiple ways on that. Bella Lowry, until her knee gets a little better, she'll probably play third base a lot, and she'll catch. And she's one of the hardest working kids that you can be around. And her sister's going to play first base. Her sister is daggone. She's underrated. She really puts the time in. She's going to have a big season. I love her a lot, and I love both Lowry girls. They're program players. They're warriors.
Now, you mentioned Zoe. She's a freshman, but played last year.
She played every game and batted every time that we could, and she hit, 4 or 5 home runs. She hit a bunch in JV. I mean, she's a tough player, and she's going to have a bright future at Southwestern.
We talked a little bit about center field, but of course she, 3 positions out there, and I know you're going to rotate some players, but who else you got to complain in that outfield?
Macy Gwynn's a 3-year starter. She'll start right field. She's, she's really, like, I call her the captain. She's just a wonderful, wonderful kid to be around. Probably the most improved player that I've ever coached. Probably got more of her. I mean, she's done great things at Southwestern. McKenna New has worked so hard. It's every Monday night. Her and Macy Gwynn went to Cumberland's, and they get training. And McKenna New you wouldn't even recognize the kid from the time she was in 7th grade. I'm excited to see what she can do. She works really, really hard. I think she'll have a good year too.
Show my age a little bit. I actually coached her dad in middle school football, but anyway, it's good to see they finally got an athlete,
That's right.
Just kidding.
That's
but,
right.
Anyway, anybody else on your roster you want to talk about a little bit?
Yeah, I talk about, I got a junior that she's a first-year player for us, but she's a soccer star for Mr. Nick Stringer. It's Lily Nelson, and she's one that's pretty talented, and I got some freshmen I like to talk about. Kristen Neal. Kristen Neal's really improved a lot. Kyra Patrick. Kyra Patrick's going to be a good hitter for us one day, if not soon. And Addison Bingham, Peyton Coffey, and I got an 8th grader named Sarah Wolf that is hurt right now, but she's still hanging around, and she's probably not going to play this year, but I got high hopes for her.
one of the keys to the success of your program has been your feeder program, starting with junior high, and then of course the travel ball, and the girls that you've got playing a lot of softball all summer long. And it seems like every time we turn around, there's another whole slew of those young ladies coming up. And I know you don't do all of that stuff alone. Takes a lot of help. You've got assistants. And you got people that help support your program.
I have another girl that just showed up today. Just showed up today. Chloe Carroll's little sister, Avery. Avery's hadn't played since 11 years old. She kind of got a bad taste in her mouth when she was 11, but now that she's playing for the Warriors, she's going to give it a try. But my coaches, I couldn't do anything without Josh New. Josh is not where I coach basketball. He has to do a lot, and he's really been a huge asset to our program. He's very organized. He does all the organizational things for us, and he's also a good coach. And I'm real proud of him. And Caitlin Gwynn is, as you know, my pitching coach, and just a wonderful person. Tom Reed and Marissa Levis will be helping. Down on my middle school, Derek Harris is coaching my middle school. I know you know Derek.
Yep.
Derek's done a great job. Me and him's been lifelong friends.
I might have fussed at him at Tyler too on the basketball floor.
Trust you.
We really do. Derek's a good guy. And he does a good job.
He about teed me up one night.
Oh,
but he didn't.
really? All right.
But Derek's doing a great job down at the middle school, and he's got a good staff. Michelle Markham, who helped me last year, is going down there to help him this year.
Fantastic.
And Chad Whitus, Tiffany Whitus, Alex Gotze helps them down there. And I really need to thank my wife, Kimberly. She's my biggest supporter. She whenever I have, when I'm down and out and I need somebody, she's always got my back. Whenever I think somebody's this, somebody's that, somebody's mad, whatever, she's always talks me off a ledge, and I love her, and she's been with me throughout the whole time.
Kind of cool that you can make this a family affair.
It is, yeah. I'm with Kylie playing, and so I didn't mention Kylie Dalton, did I?
No.
Kylie Dalton is Kylie Dalton is the most experienced player on our team.
Okay.
It's
hard to believe because she's all of a sophomore.
Yeah, she's a sophomore, but this is her seventh, eighth. This is her 5th year at Southwestern, and she'll play everywhere, wherever I want, wherever the team needs. That's what she's always done, and she'll hit for us, and she's pitching for us. I guess I did mention her a few times.
You did.
I love her, and I want her to know that even though I'm coach, I'm dad, and she's my favorite player of all time, and I will. Absolutely. I want to enjoy these last 3 years with her.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Coach, we talked a little bit about defense, but offensively, you got to score runs.
Yeah.
What is your philosophy as a coach when it comes to hitting or, how you go about? We got about 3 minutes left here.
I like to get out, and I like to run, I like to steal bases, and, I'm not big on hit and run. I'm big on letting kids be themselves in the box and not trying to micromanage everything. And I look to, that is our strength, is hitting the ball, hopefully, knock on wood. But hopefully we will be able to score some runs and,
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit. 48 district. In the last couple of years, you've had a 4th team join the district, Somerset Christian. They seem to continue to be getting a little bit better at being a young school and not a huge enrollment. Depth is a little bit of a problem, but they always seem to have some talent. And then, of course, you've got McCreary Central and Wayne County in there. Talk a little bit about what you expect out of the 48 district.
I expect Wayne County to really take a step. They took a step forward last year. I got great respect for their program and their coach, and McCreary Central's got a really good pitcher, and Somerset Christian, I heard that their pitcher went to Somerset, so I don't know how they'll be, but I expect Wayne County and us and McCreary to, compete for that district championship again.
Besides Southwestern, who do you expect to be the top dogs in this 12th region?
You have to say Pulaski because they didn't lose a player, and they lost no player, so they're the favorite to win it, and they should win it, and we'll see. You just don't know what will happen.
We got a little bit of time.
Can
you got
I thank
anything
some
else?
people at Southwestern?
Absolutely.
I want to thank my principal, Mark Flynn. He's probably the best principal around. He does a great job. Assistant principal Casey Dalton. He used to help me coach. Chris Myers, assistant principal. Aaron Wolf, assistant principal. Aaron Wolf's team mom for us. She does everything. I love that lady. And our athletic director, Alex Eaton. And then I like to always mention Junior Moden. Junior's always been one of my guys. And
when he's not on the basketball court, he's probably one of the biggest Southwestern fans I see. He's all the time. So.
Harold Isaacs, our film man.
Good deal.
And we got the best trainer in the business, Steven Sims.
Yeah.
So I can't not mention him. And my buddies, we call ourselves the 421. We teach at Southwestern. I teach special education, and it's Billy Carson, Nick Stringer, Toby Durham, and myself.
Good bunch of guys.
We love our students and love our school.
Well, and it's easy to see that because it's a lot of fun to watch you interact with your kids, and that's another key to success is those relationships you're able to build.
Yes.
And those will last even a lot longer than trophies.
And that's what it's all about is the time spent with each other. And that's what I try to tell our girls. It's not about, everybody wants to win those things. What means the most is team and loving each other and having fun. And I look forward to this season.
All right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time to come visit. Can't wait to get out there on the field, get out there at the Warpath and watch you guys. I think it's the Warpath, right?
It's the Warpath.
Okay.
It's the Warpath.
Be a lot of fun.
I appreciate everything y'all do, Kevin Lloyd, everybody, all the guys.
Thank you. That is Coach Kevin Dalton. I'm not sure. Are we taking a break? We're just going to rotate in. So we got a new guy coming in, and Michael Gover will join us, the boys baseball coach at Southwestern High School, as he makes his way towards the microphone. Come on out. We're at Buffalo Wings and Rings, and always fresh, never frozen burgers. Wings created your way. My personal favorite, the sweet Thai chili. And I don't mind them, especially if you make them just a little bit hotter. But Coach Gover.
How's it going?
Good. How are you, sir?
Well, we're living the dream.
Always good to have you here, Coach Michael Gover, and head coach of the Southwestern Warriors baseball team. And appreciate you taking time. I know you guys are getting started, cranked up. It's a little bit of a busy time, but today the cold, the rain probably don't allow you to do a whole lot.
No, it's baseball in February in Kentucky, and you never know if it's going to be 70 or you're going to go out the next day and there'll be 3 inches of snow.
Yeah. Could you imagine being one of these college baseball coaches, where you think about these regional college teams are out and they've already got a couple games under their belt?
Well, at least they're smart enough now to go south and play. So they go down into Alabama and those areas, and it's a little bit better. But when they play at home, it definitely is a chilly time.
Coach, last year, if you looked at your overall record, probably not something that you would, like to brag about, 15-22, but you guys got hot at the end of the season and made a run, and I think maybe scared a couple of people until you ran into that buzzsaw of West Jessamine, an outstanding baseball team. But what a run you guys made through the 48th district in the 12th region.
We did, and again, we say it every year. We play 36 games throughout the year to play those 3 or 4 at the end, and really and truly, you can go into it 20-5 or 5-20, and you've got the same shot if you're there. So that's kind of the outlook that we always have. And we try to build throughout the year. We look at it in stages. We kind of play up to spring break, and then we get through spring break, and we've got our district. And then after the district, you kind of finish out the year, and you're focused on that postseason play and where we're going to be at that point. And that's what we always focus on. And our guys have done a really good job, especially the last couple of years, knowing that that's the goal, focusing on it, working on their craft, and giving us a shot right there. So,
in the 48th district, since we're talking a little bit, it started with that. You've got McCreary, Wayne, and now Somerset Christian. They'll be in their 3rd year of district play, and as we mentioned with their softball, and even depth is a problem right now for them, but they're beginning to develop some talent over there as well.
Oh, definitely. They're doing a great job over there building that program, starting at the middle school level and working up. So if they can stick with it and get the guys to come out, then they're going to be right there in the mix. And you guys know as well as I do, one guy in baseball can change a whole thing whenever he's out there on the mound.
We saw that a little bit maybe with that West Jessamine squad.
That's true. They were a tough squad, and we ran out of steam a little bit, but that happens too.
looking at the 12th region overall going into this season, who do you expect to be up there?
Well, you never know. I mean, again, you look at it and you got your regional powerhouses, but again, I think anybody in our district or the 47th, you know, you go to the Danville-Moore region and they're always competitive. It's a very competitive region overall from top to bottom, and I don't think there's anybody that'll look at somebody across the table when we get to that 12th region tournament and say, well, this is a cakewalk. You know, it's we got to go out and we know we got to play no matter who it is across from us.
Coach, talk to us about your squad a little bit.
Well, we are a young but an old team in a sense. We've got 4 seniors coming to us this year. Only 2 of them have been with us all 4 years. We bring back a couple that had set a couple years out and coming back. And then the core of our group is a junior class that has been with us and played a lot of games. So those guys are going to lead us, and then it'll be our younger talent that'll mix in and kind of go with us. And really and truly, our 2 seniors, Jonas Gallagher and Jace Gager, that have been with us and played and started since they were freshmen, are going to be the leaders of this team. You know their names, you've seen them. They're great in the locker room, and they know what we expect as coaches, and they're just an extra arm for us that they kind of make our ship run.
Not to mention with Jace, a great set of locks.
Oh,
is he still sporting them?
He is, much to my chagrin, however you say it, but he likes it, so I guess
well,
that's
I know
all
his
that matters.
papa real well, too, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but, you know, it is what it is in this day and age. I get it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just
Okay,
go through
yeah.
your roster and let us know what you got going on.
Other 2 seniors are Chandler Taylor and Griffin Epperson. Chandler played with us as a freshman. Decided golf was kind of an avenue that he wanted to look at, so he played a lot of golf, and he's come back to us. He's going to help us on the mound and in the infield. And then Griffin Epperson, same thing, played as a freshman, and then went and played some tennis and is coming back, so he's going to do some outfield play probably at some point for us. Our junior class, again, I said it was going to be kind of the core of our group. It's our biggest class. Jackson Couch played a lot of outfield for us, led off last year. Jonah Brock is behind the plate. He caught every game. And again, you know, your middle guys, your catcher, your middle infielder, and your center fielder, you know, they're the core of your group, so we got a lot of experience back there. He's been great with our pitching staff, especially this year that's going to be a little younger. Not necessarily by class, but by number of innings that they pitched. Jaden Taylor, he'll pitch for us some, play some infield, first base, third base. Ben Stewart played sparingly last year in some kind of fill-in roles, but he's really developed over the fall, really worked hard in the off-season, got his arm a lot stronger, and he'll probably fight for one of those starting outfield spots this year. Cliff Sawyer, same thing, outfielder that filled in. The kid can fly. So, you know, a ball hitting the outfield, he can definitely go out there and track it down. So we're looking for big things out of him. Cooper Sweet, Tony Mullins, and Peyton Wood round out our junior class. Again, those are guys that will probably play some situational roles throughout the year, and, you know, we're excited to have them. Move on to my sophomore class, and Mick Miller played a bunch as a freshman last year, played a lot of infield. We moved him around. He'll be that utility guy this year. There, you'll probably see him at second, at short, at third. He'll pitch some, so you know he's going to be a little bit at every place. Pierce Jasper and Reno Scott, 2 other sophomores that are playing basketball. Currently, they will come out, of course, here and just whenever they get done. We hope they play for a long time, but when they get done, they'll join us. They will both pitch. They did some of that last year. Pierce pitched, actually started the region championship game for us last year as a freshman. And DH for us a lot. The kid can really hit, so he'll continue to grow into that role as he goes.
One thing about Pierce I just got to mention, we used to work, one of our cohorts always used a phrase about looks the part.
He does
fills
look
out
the part.
the uniform, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you, Pierce Jasper is he is a athletic-looking young man,
He's
to say
athletic.
the least.
He's strong as they come. So again, we're looking for big things for him, especially as he grows into being able to hit good high school pitching. Landon Brookshire, Cam Carrender, and Tristan Turpin, 3 other sophomores. They're all outfielders. Tristan's a left-handed pitcher that we're hoping big things out of down the road as he grows up a little bit. And then our freshman class, I don't know a lot about them yet because we've only seen them for a couple days at this point. But that's Cole Keith, Blake Haynes, Marcus Warren, and Bentley Burton. So again, we had tryouts Monday. So just kind of getting things rolling here. And then again, we may have some basketball kids that come out that are try out that we don't know of yet. But as of right now, that would be our roster.
even as a 5A school, you still have a lot of kids, multi-sport kids. You know, I don't know about you personally. I like it. I like kids that are well-rounded. I mean, these high school years are meant to be enjoyed. I think that's a good thing. And, yeah, you know, I appreciate that you don't, pressure these kids to get.
You know, we want them to go do other things. You know, they don't want to look at me all year by any means. And it's good for them. It's good for their, their athleticism, because each sport is going to require them to use different muscles and do different things. So the more they can go and do, great. Just when it's our time, you join us, and then when we're done, you go on, and we don't bother you till you're done there and come back. So.
I know coaching, it's a tough job. It's not something you're able to do by yourself. And, talk to us a little bit about who you got helping you, not just on the field, but some of those other folks that make your program possible and make it click.
Right. So our coaching staff this year is made up of a lot of the same guys we've had. Coach Vincent Boyles is back. Again, he played at Southwestern, was a big part of our program coming up. And he's been with me ever since, he got out of college. He handles all our pitchers, works obviously a great job with them. As you can tell, they grew over last year, leaps and bounds. And Logan Starnes is with us again this year. He works with our catchers, also with our hitters. Again, Logan had a great career at Southwestern, went on and played some college ball as well. Trevor Smith is helping. He does a lot of kind of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Again, another player at Southwestern. And then this year, new to the staff is Noah Helton. Noah played with us, graduated in 2019, had a great career at U-Pike, just finished up there. So he's been a great addition, especially being young, energetic. I say I'm getting old, been doing it too long, and the kids don't have as good a rapport with me as they do those younger guys. So Noah's a good spark there to help, and he's going to work with our hitting staff or our hitters, and do a great job with them.
Yeah, folks, Noah had a great career both in high school and college. You're exactly right. And the other thing he brings is some of those kids that want to go on. He can, he understands what it takes to get there, because it is a different level. And I don't care whether you're playing D1, NAIA, junior college, D2, D3, whatever. It is a tough job
it
to
becomes
play
a job.
college.
I mean,
it
you
is.
hit the nail on the head. You're no longer playing. It's work. You start from the first day you get on campus. You're there, and you got to get after it, because at that level you're competing every day just for a spot. So it's a little way different than high school, where hey, maybe I age into my role. In college, you can think, hey, I'm the next guy, and then they go out and get somebody else and come in. So if you're not performing,
especially in today's age of the NIL and the transfers and all of that. So. All right. Well, you probably have other people, support staff, 100%. That help you out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my family, my wife Jessica, and my girls Addison and Harper. I couldn't do it without their permission and their blessing, of course. They love being around it. My wife and I have been together, for 20 plus years now, and she's always known baseball, and that's all we've been around. So she's been a great support, somebody that you can go home and talk to and kind of vent, and she understands because she's been around it. And then my daughters love being there; they love being part of it. So I really appreciate, that they allow me to do it, because without their support, it wouldn't be worth it. And then all of our parents, we've got great boosters. They work tirelessly behind the scenes for these kids, raising money, cooking hot dogs and hamburgers and bringing them food and making sure their uniforms are cleaned up and everything from day to day. So the parents don't get enough probably support from the kids and enough thank yous, but I really do appreciate them, and they've been great. We've always had a great booster club and great parents in our program.
Always a pleasure to go out there and call ball games with Lake Cumberland Sports, because you guys, you're right, they're great hosts, and it's a fun atmosphere. Right. You have a fantastic facility. I think that's one thing a lot of folks don't understand about high school coaches. Not only are you the coach, but you're also head groundskeeper.
Yeah, we do a lot of work, mow a lot of grass and drag a lot of fields and paint a lot of lines and do a lot of dirt work and stuff that happens, year round. Actually, I've already been out there once this year mowing, so, it's January, and we were out there mowing a little bit, trying to get it into shape to where once we start, it's a little bit easier.
I was going to say, because my neighbors start mowing their yard this time, I go put sugar in their fuel tanks, Don't mow too soon. You make the rest of the neighborhood look bad. But, all right, sounds great.
And of course, our administration's great. We get all the support in the world that we need from Mr. Flynn all the way down. They do a great job. They're out at games. If we need anything, they're just a phone call away, willing to help out. If we've got questions about something, they're there. So can't thank them enough for being involved in the athletics. We know it's a small part of their job and definitely not the most important part of their job, but they do support it greatly. So we appreciate them. And, of course, we're looking forward to a big year, and hopefully we'll be right there in the mix, moving forward in the 48th. And then we always, try to play for those 4 games at the end of the season, of course.
4 big ones.
4 big ones, that's right.
Exactly.
And again, we play a lot of practice games, in my opinion. So,
talk to me a little bit. Let's talk coaching philosophy. What is it that you got to do? Your philosophy has to be based on your talent and all of that. So what is it that you're wanting to do this year? What are we going to know that Southwestern does very well that people better be on the lookout for?
Well, I hope, and it's always been our plan and our game plan to go out. We don't want to walk people, and we don't want to make a lot of errors. If you walk a lot of guys and you make a lot of errors in the field and you wind up beating yourself,
right,
you're not going to win many high school baseball games. So if we can throw the ball over the plate enough to force that guy to get himself out, he probably will. You're going to give up a double every now and then, but if you've not walked the 2 guys before him, you give up a double and you move on. Same thing is if our pitchers are throwing it over the plate, they've got to have the confidence that the 8 guys behind them are going to make the play. So we preach that. Our guys get tired of working on bunt defenses. We do them from the start to the end, and we try to beat it in their head that at some point, especially when it comes down to the region tournament, a bunt may win you the game or it may lose you the game. So you've got to be able to get the bunt down and you've got to be able to field the bunt. And I can probably count on both hands how many times that's come into play, and we use that as examples year after year. So I hope everybody says that we can pitch it, and we're out there making the fundamental routine play. We're not going to be flashy. That's not my style. That's not any of our coaches' style. That's not our player style. We're very, old school in that sense of we want to show up, we want to do the little things, and hopefully go out and compete and win. Last year I think our record shows a little bit lopsided, but if you look at it, we lose a lot of 1-run games. That if you flip them, we've got a winning record at the end of the year, but that also helped us whenever it comes to the region tournament because we kept everybody right there. We were used to playing in those games, and your kids don't freak out. You may be down a run or you may be up a run, and if you've played in a bunch of them, you're confident in your abilities that, hey, we're still right there. We're 1 hit away or 1 play away from winning the game, and it helped us at the end of the year, especially last year.
One of the great things about baseball, and especially when you get to this level, there's no clock. Time doesn't run out. As long as you're able to keep sending guys up to the plate, you have a chance, and I know that. I want to ask you a question because there's an old adage about baseball players and conditioning and especially weight training and that sort of thing. I'm just curious, your philosophy about off-season preparation, especially if you got guys that are not in other sports or, when they have time. What do you like to see out of your guys?
If they're not doing something else, we start in September with the throwing program.
Okay.
It's not the velo type stuff. It's just more long toss, trying to build some traditional arm strength. And then we try to get them to lift a lot of weights. We've actually got it worked out where they've got a class that they can take during school now that allows them to lift weights. We want them to lift a little heavier in the fall to kind of build up some mass because it's a more physical game now than it used to be.
Right.
And they've got to condition themselves in the off season to get to the point that, all right, I can get to February and then I can back off a little bit and maintain what I've got, but I can't start February the 10th and build enough arm strength to get through a season. So that's huge for us, and then again the weightlifting part's big in the fall for us.
Interesting. Now a little bit more about maybe some of the aerobic conditioning, because you guys play a lot of baseball games and you're playing multiple times throughout the week. Is that something too that you want to stress to try and keep guys healthy for the season?
Definitely. You try to preach to them, actually on Monday we start preaching to the fact that they've got to stay ahead in school because, again, if they're failing, they don't play for us. That's one of my big things is, you got to make the grades because you're a student first. So we stress to them how important it is to get ahead there, and then obviously we're leaving at 4 o'clock once we start playing. We may get home at 11, and it's a grind. And the freshmen really have a huge adjustment when they come in because they're not used to it. The every day, the late nights, the cold weather. So we stress to them, they got to get rest, they got to eat right, they got to start eating before school, during school, and even getting the snack, after school, because we may have a practice, and if it's pretty outside, we're going to be out there till 7:30 if we can, just because there's a lot that you've got to get in whenever those days are there. So
We just got a minute before we wrap up, and I looked at your schedule, and there's one thing that stands out when I see the John Hooker Memorial Classic playing that over in Laurel County. Tell us. So most of the folks probably aren't aware who John Hooker is, and I think that's got to be a little bit of a special moment for anybody that knows high school baseball in this area.
100%. So John played for North Laurel back in the late 90s. I actually played against him, and his wife was actually one of my wife's best friends through high school. She's from North Laurel, so we've got that personal connection there, and their coach, Coach McWhorter, reached out to us and said, hey, we're going to start this. We're going to kind of get the old district back together, which used to be Pulaski, Southwestern, Somerset, North and South Laurel. Now, that's a heck of a district to come out of.
Yes.
And usually whoever won that district went on to win a region tournament, if you guys have been around. So that's big for us to go over there, support that family, support that cause, because he was a great kid, great advocate for the game, played the game the right way. So we're honored to be part of it.
Fantastic. Coach, I appreciate you taking time to visit with us. Looking forward to it. Always have a good time at Southwestern High School. Great baseball, great facility.
Appreciate
and
it.
if you don't want to get out, you guys have what I call the lawn chair section, on the blacktop.
That's right.
And then you can even, I've seen Coach Coach Keeney sit out there in his bass boat, come off the lake, and then sit out there and watch a game from the front of his boat.
Yeah,
So,
we have a lot of space to spread out, so it's a comfortable spot, a good place to watch a game.
Indeed.
And we appreciate everything you guys do, covering our kids and then getting their names out there. And
it's our pleasure, man. We have more fun. It's just a ball to cover high school sports.
That's great.
And looking forward to getting outside for a little baseball.
All right, we appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you, Coach Gover with the Southwestern Warriors. We're going to step out and take a break. We're at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Coming up next, Mike Kerr's going to get back in here and talk to our Somerset coaches. We'll be back after this.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about you.
Here to come in 175, here to come in 175, 2. I 200 down, down, here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Buffalo Wings and Rings for Lake Cumberland Sports. Look at high school baseball, softball coaches show, and we are moving right along and joined by the head man of the Lady Jumpers, Jeff.
How we doing?
I like to talk baseball and softball with people that enjoy the game, and that means I love talking with you because, again, Lady Jumpers, like everybody else, loving this weather, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Right? This is great.
It is. We've been able to get outside quite a bit here lately.
Fortunately, you do have the field down there now that
yeah.
if the weather will just cooperate a little bit, you can get out and work on some things. Okay, let's talk about, first of all, Somerset softball. You're going to go through a list of young ladies that we're going to talk about. I'm going to let you, hopefully, we got Rhett with us tonight too, Rhett. Look up there and say hi to him, Rhett. Yeah, but you're going to mention some young ladies, and I think they'd rather hear you talk about your team than me ramble on, so have at it, partner.
All right, I'll start. We'll go from grade levels. I'll start with our senior. We've got one senior in Kylie Wilson. Hopefully she can come out. She's been in cheerleading here lately, so she hasn't been with us very much, but hopefully she can come out. Looking for her to battle for a spot in the outfield, help us out there. And then we've got Emery Piles. She's our only junior. We've got one senior, one junior, 2 upperclassmen.
Wow.
Emery Piles, she's one of those girls that, she'll do anything for you. Last year I think she played almost every position beside catcher and pitcher, so she's one of those girls that is a good leader for the team, and, she'll do anything for you. She works hard. She does everything that you need her to do. And then we'll go to sophomores. We've got Sarah White, McKenna Baker, Addie White. We got Reagan Childers. Our first, Sarah White, we obviously know that she got injured in December from playing basketball, but hopefully we can get something going out of her. We'll see. That's up in the air right now, so we'll see. And then we got McKenna Baker, another one that came in last year. She was a freshman last year and came in. Never played much outfield, and she came out and she learned how to play. She worked hard at it, and she's become a good outfielder for us. And she's come a long way in that area offensively. She's getting better there too, and we're looking for a big year out of her. Addie White, another one that's got a lot of experience last year in the circle on the mound, and she pitched a lot of games for us, coming off a little elbow surgery she had in the off season. But she's working hard to battle and get back, and she also had a good offensive year last year too. She's one of those that we're looking forward to seeing what she can do this year. Looking for a very good year out of her in the circle too. As she starts working back into it, she's going to be a big help for us. We also got Reagan Childers, sophomore, new one we've got. She's a great player. We've seen her. She's been at practice, and she's worked hard, does everything you ask her to do, and we look for her to do great things with us. And then we go to our ninth graders, our freshmen. We've got Bailey Burks, Paisley Poore, Eva Hines, Ariana Roldridge, and Talara Bach and Kylie Spencer. That's a big freshman class, one of the biggest freshman classes we've had in a while.
We'll take just a pause and you can go right back, because I can remember when you and I sat in these seats and it was 9 or 10 names, and now you're at 15 in a big freshman class, which means the program is growing in the right direction.
Yes, sir. And these girls are working hard. They're a very hard-working group of freshmen. We got Bailey Burks. She's coming in. She's working in the outfield, a little bit of first base, but mainly outfield right now. She's come a long way. She's improving. And that's what we ask our girls to do. She's improving every day. Paisley Poore, another one that's come in and works hard every single day. She's getting better offensively. She's getting there. Same way with Bailey Burks. We're working on things to make sure that they can improve and continue to get better. Eva Hines, first base. We're looking at her at the first base spot. She swings it pretty good. Defensively, catches it pretty well, throws it pretty well, and she also continuing to get better every single day. Aubriana Woolridge, another one. She's outfield. We're also looking at her at first base too. She's another one that's continuing to get better every day. She barrels the ball up. She hits it hard, and that's one thing we continue to work on with her, is just consistently hitting barrel balls up, and she'll be fine. Then we got Talara Bach. She's another outfielder that we have. Another one that's continuing to get better every single day and continuing to improve. We ask them, like I said, 1% better every day, and they continue to work hard. And her offensively is coming along, defensively as well. Kylie Spencer, another one that's getting better every single day. She's looking at her in the outfield too. Look at her a little first base, but mainly outfield with her. She's one of the better ones we have right now in the outfield position. We're trying to make sure that we find somebody out there that we can put. But Kylie, she's coming a long way. And then we go to 8th grade. Aaliyah Wesley. She was our catcher last year. Started catching last year, and she's playing middle school volleyball right now, so she's hit or miss on coming, but she's another great player that we're looking for big things out of her. She's a catcher, that cornerstone back there that you got to have, and she's continuing to get better. We have Macy Huff. She's a 7th grader. Macy Huff looking for her corner infield spot, somewhere in there, and a young kid that's got a lot of potential, a lot of talent, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do. And then we have Nora Grider, another new one that we have. that's going to be a big help for us. She's pitching. She can pitch, catch. She can do anything that you ask her to do. So I'm looking forward to getting her out there. And we also have 2 more that I've added to the roster. They're going to play middle school ball for the most part, but there's a chance that we can pull them up. And Blair Piles and Kennedy Woolridge, those are 2 that they can come in and fill in a spot right away if we needed to. So that's our roster. I mean, I'm excited about this bunch, because it's a lot of new. We lost 5 seniors last year, and there's 5 returning starters, but we lost 5 seniors, but there's still a lot of new to this bunch,
Get yourself a drink. I set you up for that. I told you I was going to let you do all the talking, but a man can't talk that long without taking a breath. Once again, good numbers, good versatility. The way you talked, you got some kids that can play in multiple positions, which is good.
Yeah, we've got to and that's one thing we always talk about. I mean, adversity is going to hit at some point in the season, and you've got to be able to play multiple spots. And with the small team that we have, small school, that you've got to be able to work at multiple spots to be able to fill in a spot when we need it. And these girls really buy into that, and they continue to work hard, and that's something I really love about it.
All right, you've got a team that 47th District, everybody knows, in Pulaski County. We had Coach Gover on a little earlier, and he is unabashedly said that they are a very good softball team, and they're expecting to do good things. And Casey County last year had improved significantly. Don't know enough. You probably know more than I do. Did they graduate several of those players, or you look for them?
No, they still have.
They still got them?
Still have a few of those players. Yes.
So they're going to be pretty good.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We've got one of the toughest districts around here.
And Rock is always athletic and well coached, and that's what I was getting to. You got a 4-team district, of which all 4 teams can play.
Yeah, it's a very tough district. I mean, you start with Pulaski. Obviously, they've got Brooklyn Thomas returning. I mean, just a good player. But, then you have Casey, like you said, returning a bunch of players that they have. They still got the Harmony Meese in the circle. And then you got Rock, which they've always got good players, like you said, athletes. And then I think we can fit right in there with them. I mean, we're very young. We're very young. We're going to be very young for a while. But I feel like
senior?
One senior, one
junior.
Yes, sir. Two upperclassmen on this team, but I mean that's part of it. I mean,
well, that what that does is says go have a good year this year and grow up for down the road.
Yeah, there's a bunch of potential on this team. I mean, like I said, they're super young, but they've got a lot of talent.
What's the old saying? The best thing about freshmen, they become sophomores.
Right.
They don't graduate and leave you, but. Okay, you have got the same drawbacks that everybody has right now. The fact that the weather has been, I don't know how to describe it. We set a record for one day, I think 70-some degrees a week or 2 ago, and now we've had 3 or 4 days of whatever this is, Seattle weather maybe. But you can't get consistency until you can get 10 days or so of being outside. And we're in Kentucky, and we're not going to change that. I mean, you just have to learn to adapt to it.
Right. And we've been able to get outside a few times. When we got those warm weathers a couple weeks ago, we were able to get out there and get some work in a little bit. But we've been shacked up in that field house, which probably a super nice field house.
Glad to have it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can get a lot of work in there, and the girls come in there, they work hard. But no, it's been tough with this weather. But that's like you said, that's Kentucky weather for you. But we're gonna continue to try to get out there as much as we can, and continue to work hard.
Rhett, you want to say anything? Rhett doesn't want to talk to us. Okay, I'll try to get him to say something. Rhett's my man. I enjoy it. All right, your coaching staff, we need to touch on that because in your case, at least, some of y'all share the same roof.
Yes,
but again,
we've got pretty much the same. I mean, obviously, we've got David Dorsey. Been a part of the program for 20-plus years. He's calls the pitches, cornerstone of that, and he does a great job with that. I mean, there's no other person I would rather have controlling that than David Dorsey. Has been doing it so long. And then also my wife, Brittany, she's still helping us a little bit when she can. She takes care of this one and the other little one we have in Walker. That she takes care of those two for the most part, but she still gets out there and gets out there and practices with us and works with those girls. And then we also added a new one in Harrison Lowe. He's our new assistant coach. Done a phenomenal job. It's been great having him out there. He works with outfielders, works with offensively, working with hitters. I mean, it's been a great. He was our middle school coach the last 2 years, so it's been able. He's come up and helped us out.
You have to introduce me to him. I don't think I've met Mr. Lowe.
He played baseball at Somerset. He's a Somerset boy.
Well, I bet I do know him then when I get a chance to see him.
Yeah.
We don't wander far from home. Region, we'll touch a little bit on it. Usual suspects, I guess. You got to always have East Jessamond's name penciled in somewhere, and Bull County's name penciled in maybe somewhere. And who else do we need to look?
West Jessamond.
And Mercer.
West
Yeah.
Jessamond, I feel like it's going to be a good team. Pulaski. And then, I mean, we've got a chance to be pretty good. I mean, I don't want us to be put out of that list, but I do feel like we have a chance. We're real young, but we've got a chance to be really good. I do believe that. But like I said, it's West Jessamond, Mercer, Pulaski, Brock's going to be a good team. Casey. I mean, the whole region's going to be pretty solid. I mean, there's no really for sure answer right there. So, but I mean, I feel like we've got just as good a chance as anybody. I mean, we're gonna fight for it, and we're gonna continue to work every single day. I mean, we can only take it one day at a time, you know. So we're gonna continue to do that.
You mentioned David Dorsey earlier, and I'd be remiss if I don't mention the fact David and I go back to Little League. I mean, literally together in high school ball and everything. And if there is a better baseball, softball guy around, I don't know him.
Yeah,
and he's so quiet and so, just you don't even realize it. But there's a fountain of knowledge right there. And hopefully the only advice I give to your young players, pay attention when that old man's talking because he knows of what he speaks.
No, Dave's a good one. I'm glad to have him. He's like a dad to me.
Of course.
He's like a dad to me. We talk all the time. I probably talk to him more than I talk to my wife, So we talk all the time, and he's been great for me. I've learned a lot from him. So it's just been a great thing to have him around.
Your enthusiasm is contagious every year. I enjoy your company. Your kids have to feed off that. I looked at the schedule. You've got a pretty good schedule put out there, Jeff. Just to be honest with you, a lot of teams that I'm not that familiar with, but who on that schedule are you going to use as a measuring stick?
We see one right away in our second game of the year with Madison Central.
Yes.
I mean, they're a great team. I mean, we'll find out quick what we're made of, and then Whitley County to start. I mean, that'll be a good measuring stick as well. But Madison Central's second game of the year will be a good one. And then Southwestern, I mean, they'll be a great team. Coach Dalton over there does a great job with them. So that'll be another good measure stick. North Laurel made it to the state finals last year.
Right.
So that's another game that'll be tough. I mean, Madison Southern will be good. West Jessamond, Rock, Casey. I mean, you can just go down through the list.
Let's go down that list a little ways to about April the 7th.
Yep.
I get down to April the 7th and I look, and it's home and away against Pulaski, and I don't have them in the right order, and home and away against Casey, and maybe one game, and then home and away with Rock. Your district schedule falls into literally 10 days.
Yep. That's just how we've done the same schedule as baseball, you know. So
and the thing I say, baseball and softball are games of highs and lows.
Yep.
Sometimes your team's playing great. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you wonder if we've ever showed up for practice. You just get that.
Yeah.
And if you're hot during that period, it can be totally different. Yeah. And if you're cold, obviously we could go negative. But I've been interested in that for years because in a 14 district, you're actually talking about 6 games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think in the basketball district down in the 48th this year, every team's 3-3 in the district. Yeah. Well, I can see situations where that could happen.
Oh yeah.
But do you do it? I mean, you all control the schedule, but you don't, right?
Right.
I mean,
yes. Especially the district schedule for sure. Like I said, we do the same thing as baseball. Whatever they're doing, we're doing the same thing.
Now, the home and home situation that y'all have started doing, I like. I don't know that we like it necessarily as a broadcast group because generally we've got a baseball game and a softball game going on at the same time with the same two schools that we would like to be at, but we find ways around some of that. Anything you want to think administration-wise at Somerset?
I appreciate everything Ron Dixon does. He's our head maintenance guy, and his team, and Mr. Lively for allowing us to get everything that we need, and then Mr. Wesley, Miss Baker over there at the high school, the principals there. They do a phenomenal job making sure all these girls are in class and making the grades that they need to do, but that they need to have. But I mean, honestly, I'm just ready for this year. I mean, I think it could be a very, very good year if we can come together and just come together as one and just keep working hard together. But like I said, I mean, we've got a really, really young squad. I mean, that's no excuse. There's no excuse for that. I mean, everybody puts their pants on the same way,
Except for an excuse, I'd consider it a blessing.
Yeah. I mean,
now, as a coach, it may turn you more gray-headed than not. We may look more in the same color, but I mean, when you know that you got kids that are going to be with you another 2, 3, 4 years that are getting varsity experience, that's got to make you feel good.
It goes a long way, and I'm excited for it. We've got a bunch of great kids, and hopefully we're in the hunt there at the end, and hopefully we can make a run at it.
You mentioned the middle school schedule. You've got enough players on your roster now. I mean, a couple years up there, I would watch in the ones you would run out for the other group in a JV or varsity situation were basically they're Shane players.
The same team, yeah. That's been the issue here lately, not being able to play very many JV games because of our pitching situation and the number of players. But hopefully this year we'll be able to get some JV games in and help those younger players get some more experience.
There's a guy doing that. I told you we'd see him doing that at some point in time. Jeff, I appreciate your time. I want to wish you the best. If there's ever anything we can do to help,
yes, sir,
we're here.
Yes, sir.
We'll do what we can. And all I can say is I look forward to some warm weather and about a month from now seeing you guys get to tee it up for real.
Sir. Yes, sir. It's coming. We're 3 weeks away from our first scrimmage, so it's here.
Head man of the Somerset Briar Jumpers, and we wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Rhett, I hate to tell you this, but Dad's leaving, and Grundy's hard to get along with, so we're going to let you step out. Coach Phil Grundy's going to join us, and thank you, Coach. I appreciate you.
Go Jumpers.
Coach Grundy, sometimes when you hit the right button pad, it works. Coach Phil Grundy is going to join us, head man of the Somerset Briar Jumpers baseball program, and he's shy. He doesn't like to do interviews, so we'll see if we can get him.
We already on?
Well, we're getting ready to be. Yes, you're on. Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
Good to see you, Coach.
Good to see you, fellas.
I'm trying to rag you a little bit because I know once you get started, I won't get to say anything in this interview.
No, I got to roll.
I know, you got a man to roll. Tell you what I want to do, seriously. I want you to do what you just did. Take your team and your schedule, and let's talk about Somerset baseball because I know you're excited about what you've got coming back. And I looked at the schedule, and nice schedule, Coach.
I appreciate it. We're always excited. It's tough. Preseason kind of gets slow, and kids are tired of being in there. And we started long throwing in October, and open gym started in January. So kids are ready to go. I think we have our first scrimmage March the 5th here against Franklin County. Good ball club. JT Riddle, former big leaguer, took that job over. He's a great young man and someone I've known for a long time. So he's going to come down here. We're going to have a scrimmage. So we're getting cranking. I mean, basketball, we hope we don't see those guys for a long time, but Coach is doing a great job with them, and Coach Young's allowing them to, come over and take some bat practice on their own. Nothing's going to get them hurt, just some swings and long throwing. So they'll, when basketball hopefully ends in the state championship game, that we'll get those guys out and they'll be ready to roll.
It's good the way you all support each other, and I know it's real because I see it between y'all's coaching staff. Used to be that nobody lifted in season, nobody did anything else of another sport because you're afraid you were going to hurt something here, there, or whatever. Well, those days are gone, aren't they? I mean, everybody conditions year-round. And
Yeah, they do. Jeremy Toohey's been a big part of that in our community.
he has in more than one school. I mean,
Yes,
he
every
is.
school.
Yes.
Every kid that wants to get better should go see Jeremy Toohey.
And we're not doing an advertisement for Jeremy Toomey, but the proof's in the pudding, as they used to say. The man is, he's good at his craft.
He does. He works tremendously hard. He's engaged and he's committed to these kids' long-term future health, and that's the biggest thing. Is there's a way to do it right, and Jeremy does it right. We don't know enough to do it. As someone that went through professional baseball, college baseball, we lifted and we did some things, but we're not at the level what Jeremy teaches.
Well, again, and it shows. I mean, you can just look at the athletes
Yes.
that are flowing through this community, and we're not going to stay there forever because I want you to get on to your kids this year. I look back at last year, looked at some numbers and who's gone and who's back and all that, and one thing jumped up and hit me in the mouth, and then this is yours. You returned some pretty serious pitching.
Yes, we do. I would think that our pitching staff, you can only have one guy on the mound every
Right.
game. We know that, but I would think our pitching staff is as deep and as strong as anyone's in the state. You could say Trinity or Catholic or someone's got someone that's maybe just a little tick above where we're at, but from 1 to 10, I don't see that. And last year we threw 14 different pitchers. All of them, went out and competed for us, and it's all about getting better. A lot of these kids had to do it, and we call it baptism by fire. They're dropped in as 8th graders that have to pitch, and now they're juniors and seniors. We expect some big things from all those guys. But I went through our pitching staff. We got 2 Division I signees already. I feel like we'll have 2 or 3 more in this staff that are kind of waiting to see a right fit for them. But we got Reagan Newt's going to Bellarmine. Reagan made huge strides this summer. Dealt with a little bit of an arm injury, and that's also because of weight training. I mean, he's lifting, he's trying to throw and lifting, he's doing all the right things, and now he's hitting that next gear. It's going to be a great year for him. Griffin Loy's committed to play baseball at Duke. We haven't had the official signing because he's just a junior, but he's going to.
His numbers were pretty good last year, too.
Phenomenal. ACC, he's going to go moving into the ACC, so we expect big things from him. And then Cole had a great year last year. Wins-wise, we got beat a lot 2-0, and he drugged some of the big guys the way we were doing our rotation. We lost Samala, so it'll fall down to Luke Pointer, 6'5", first baseman. Cole 6'4", Griffin 6'4", Reagan 6'4". Just a big group of right-handed power arms, and of course we're going to try to take it easy. Last year we kind of had to throw some guys out there because of injuries. We had to push some guys a little bit deeper into games. We won't have to do that this year. We got a lot of heat last year about we missed some time during spring break. We never make them go with us in spring break, so we took the week off of spring break, but we still played more games than anybody in the region.
Right.
We played 39 baseball games in 58 days or whatever it is. So these guys had to get after it every single day: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Doubleheader on Saturday, so it's really been special.
What I like too about your pitching, you're an old pitcher. You're an old arm. Well, you're not old, but
I'm old
compared to some of us. But you are a pitcher as well as a position player, and you understand the concept. I look at the numbers, the innings pitched out of your staff. 50 is a big number.
Yes.
Getting ready for the end of the postseason is a big number. You don't push these arms to the point. And if I'm taking a note from somewhere, I'll look at things like that because I've seen some kids double that by the time the season's over.
I don't see the benefit. I don't. Winning one baseball game means nothing to us in the regular season. We lose games, and our parents, I know, hate it that we don't stretch a kid out a little bit. One more inning is a lot when you're already pitched under duress.
When you're tired and you're pitching like you said, under duress, those innings are not one inning.
No.
They are multiple.
And you never know, an outfielder misplays a ball, infielder, umpire misses a call. All of a sudden we're in a 20-pitch inning, and we go from having a decent out and getting him out in 65 pitches to now he's looking at 90, and he doesn't want to come out. We're raising competitors. We want them to want to be out there, but we got to do what's best for them.
Who would have thought you and I would talk pitching?
Oh, yeah. That's the way it always goes. But we go through it with, like I say, Reagan going to Bellarmine, Griffin going to Duke. Cole's already got interest in a couple schools. Of course, I want him to go to Georgia Southern. We're Cage pitching Friday night against Western Carolina.
Well, good.
My old school.
Yes.
Then Luke Pointer, I think the future's really bright for him. Like I say, power right-handed arm. Isaiah Lewis had the best stats. in the region last year. I think batting average against, ERA, some of those things. He didn't get all the big games. We didn't give him a ton of big games because, again, he was one that he was playing two ways. Dealt with a little bit of an arm issue the year before, so we kind of took it easy on him. But he pitched lights out for us in every game we asked him to pitch. Then we got Bryson Stevens, another one that came in last year in big opportunities. I think he pitched against Tate's Creek as a freshman. Connor Roberts came in last year, big innings. So some of these guys, but then we got some freshmen. John Henderson, great arm, kid that we're going to develop. He's going to get some varsity innings, but it's not going to be early. Try to get his arm in shape. Then we have Michael Coffey, who again he's a junior, but injury after injury, and it's not really injury. It starts the season out with tendonitis, and it just lingers. And of course, he's such a great kid, big part of this team. They all love each other. It's a great group of kids. Then we got two freshmen that I'm really excited about, Miles Strunk and Gunnar Strunk. Miles is a right-hand, real quiet kid, third baseman, looks terrific at third. He's going to also slide in there and play a little third, I think, varsity. And then Gunnar Strunk. Gunner's a lefty, and I think they both played for me in the area code games up in Louisville this year, and they stood out as knowing the game. Did some really nice things. So those guys I'm counting on.
Got a major league staff. He's got.
We got a bunch of pitchers.
10 or 12 pitchers.
We're gonna love them. I think we're gonna roll out. Like last year, I said we threw 14 pitchers. I think we'll be right at that number again this year. Then we got catchers. Now we're doing something different this year in catchers. With catchers, it's not going to be great. I don't think everybody's going to love it right away, but we're trying to develop 4 catchers. So we're going to catch. We're basically going to have your own personal catcher. 2 guys are going to pitch to this guy. 2 are going to pitch to this guy. Connor Vanderploeg's our returner. But we can't afford for anybody to get injured, so he's going to play outfield and DH some. So he'll slide out, and we got Luke Stringer and Josh Bruner, senior, returning. He was out with an injury last year. And then we're going to try Connor Roberts some, but he's a lockdown second baseman. Connor was probably our most improved baseball player last year. He's got college's opportunity. He's going to play collegiate baseball as well. Then we got an 8th grader, Charlie Adams, has continued to develop. He's in there. He's a what I call a hitting facility rat. He's in there working on something all the time. He loves going to camps. He loves learning. He likes to educate himself and gain all the knowledge, and he's really committed to being a player. So. With those 5 catchers, we expect, one's going to slide in and catch the JV. The rest of them are going to play varsity or DH or play a little outfield. And I can go through that if you want.
Yes.
The outfilders, because
I want you to do what you want to do.
Well, they're going to be interchangeable.
Yes.
You got Isaiah Lewis, Reagan New, all return. Those 2 have been returning outfield. Connor Vanderploeg played a ton of outfield for us last year. Brody Dalton will probably log in as the DH this year, along with Luke Pointer. Then we got Luke Stringer and Lofton Spa. Lofton's a left-hand hitter. Probably one of our most improved players from first day he got there till today. Then we have Josh Bruner. Like I say, he's an athlete, can play third, first, catch. He's going to find his way to the outfield and catch some for us. Walker Stevens, freshman. Watched him dunk it 2 hands the other night.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a long drink of water.
And he's gotten confidence. When he does come, because basketball can't get there a lot, he's really shown confidence, athleticism, and he just needs some work and some reps. Then you've got Carter Littoral. Carter, I think it's the first time he's played in 3 or 4 years. Got great energy. He's working on it. Got a nice swing. Still, confidence. Kid, if you're out of baseball 2 or 3 years, you get eaten up by lack of confidence. Then you got Cam Carell, same situation. He's moved from first base to the outfield, so he's going to slide to first and the outfield. And like I said, our DHs look to be Brody and Luke Pointer early. Well, some of our pitchers may find their way there too. Second base, like I said, Connor Roberts was locked down last year. Nobody's better. He deserves to start there, but he's going to have to slide and play, maybe catch some. So that moves Bryson Stevens into that spot. Then we got John Henderson, a freshman, that'll have an opportunity to compete there. And then also Jonas Blakeman, a freshman, but in a situation we're going to share him with track. He's a terrific track kid, so we want to make sure they're allowed to do that too. Moving over to shortstop, Kanan Sizemore. To me, he's like the Energizer Bunny. He's a machine. We need him to have a big year for us this year. He's a collegiate baseball player. He's just got to relax, and he has such a good energy about him. So happy, and he really does motivate the rest of the guys. He's a real positive kid. And then John Henderson and Isaiah Lewis will slide in there if we had to move Kanan to do anything else. Then, of course, at third base, Cole had a great year last year. I think he led us in hitting. Him and Griffin both had 5 or 6 home runs each. I think Cole hit 400. And he got better he improved dramatically from his freshman year chasing bad pitches to he's just gotten more professional about how he goes about his business. He's gotten more used to me coaching him, so that's an adjustment as well. And then you got Miles Strunk and Isaiah and Micah Sizemore that could slide over there as well and be can fill in for Cole when he's on the mound. Then at first base, Griffin had a big year for us last year. I said him and Cole, I think, led us in home runs tied. Luke Pointer, when Luke gets it going, he's not going to look back. He's not going to struggle. Then we got Michael Coffey, Cam Carell, and Gunnar Strunk all going to be vying for the JV and the varsity when one of those other guys are on the mound. And then, of course, my coaching staff. You know, Doc saying them back for.
Take you a drink of a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, you got a commercial?
No, I just don't want to see you hyperventilate on me. You're doing
I
great.
hate to forget a player.
Keep
you know that.
rolling. If you
have
forgot one, you better go back over it.
I hope not.
Because, we could end up in trouble.
Yes, I will.
No, again, you're going to talk your coaching staff.
I think Dr. Sandin's now in double-digit years with me. He's put up with a lot. He does.
He's a very valuable asset to us, too, so
Yes.
you make sure you tell him
I
that.
will. Hope he listens. But you've got Doc's been there. He does our stats. He works with outfielders. He calls pitches. He does he goes over game scouting reports, who's doing what. Kevin Wallace also just fantastic with our pitchers. We got Heath Earsom, another left-handed pitcher, former player, former jumper, former collegiate player at Newberry. He's back helping us again this year. They got Mike Reynolds, who's phenomenal, and Davin Roberts up the middle. Both played for the Jumpers, and that's a testament to what Coach T built here. Is these guys still want to come back and be a part of this, and we're continuing that trend. My plan is to coach another year after this if Mr. Lively doesn't fire me for something, and if I can hang on another year, I hope that we can hand it over to someone capable that appreciates what the purple and gold means to the former players and the alumni.
Speaking for one of those former players and alumni, you have handled the transition well, to use a Jedi comment. Good job, young Jedi.
Well, I appreciate
You have done a wonderful job, and again, you kind of let it flow off, but 20 wins against a schedule like you throw out every year, and you all seem to accomplish that. You're there at the end of the region every year competing, and I look forward to seeing you play this year. All those names that you just kept rolling through, it was like I was looking at my scorebook from last year, and by position, I'm going, yeah, he was there. Yeah, he was there. Yeah, he was. You've got a nice bunch coming back.
Yeah, and they're good kids. I said this, we're going to Florida this year. You see some of those games that we've got on there. I think this group's going to get tighter and have better chemistry as we go. I really believe that this is a team that's sole focus is to win and not worry so much about who's pitching what game. When you've got this, like I say, you go pitcher 1A, 1B, 1C. Our top five could beat anybody in the state, and our top five could struggle, but their talent level is at the point where they can go out and throw a shutout. They can go out and throw a no-hitter. Their ability's there to do it. Again, we'll be real careful with their arms early, better than we did last year. But in this situation, it's so fun to watch them develop. I worry about outside influences. I worry about some of the things they're doing off the field as far as training, as far as pitching. I'm not worried about the weights. I'm not worried about their academics. We got a great academic group. We got people doing the right thing off the field. I worry that they throw too much. I've always worried that, but that's one of the things that we're just going to have to just take care of their arms while we got them and keep our fingers crossed that they're doing the right things off the field to protect themselves too.
It's not an exact science, and it has evolved so much from when I tried to play the game, even from when you played the game. This innings thing has become, even at the major league level, you're talking about guys that are making multi-tens of millions of dollars a year who are on pitch counts.
Yes. Everybody's on a pitch count.
It is, and it makes sense. And back in the day, it was just give him the ball, and, when he falls down, maybe we'll go get him.
Well, I say that a lot. I watch college baseball quite a bit, and, of course, I don't agree with what some of the college pitching coaches do. And that's their job. Yeah, that's their job to make those decisions. But I said that my college coach was Jack Leggett and Keith Clare, both Hall of Famers. They would hand me the ball, and they'd come get me either when I was out of pit, when the game was over, or the other team decided they were going to pound on me a while, and the game was over, and that was it. I was expected to go 6, 7, 8 innings, and that's what my job was. And back then they didn't count pitches. It was basically, you threw 6 this week. You got, we expect you to be able to do it in less. And then that became popular. But the one thing is we talk about is the kids' future matters more to us than one game. We want them to go on healthy to another level. And and there's a level for all these kids to play at. The sad thing is some kids don't want to play at a NAIA or a D2 or a D3. Listen, go get better, go compete, go improve, and see. There's so many major league scouts and so many videos.
Yes.
If you're good enough, you're going to be
And you
seen.
only get to do this once.
One time.
You're going to be 30-year-old one of these days, and you're going to look back and say, I had a chance to play baseball at fill in the blank,
Yes.
and I didn't. And I love the game, and I miss the game, but I didn't. And that's who would have thought you and I would get wandering down a path talking about pitching and stuff like that. I don't know how that happened. Let's do this. Look at the schedule. We always talk district. Pulaski County's lost several players, but they're going to be pretty good. They've got a couple arms at the top of that rotation that's pretty good. Michael Gover and the Southwestern Warriors, they managed to play in the championship game in the 12th region last year, and they didn't lose very many off of that team.
Yep.
So you just take a look around locally, pretty good. What do you know about Casey or Rock? Because Casey is a wild card to us. I never know when they're going to show up or what they're going to bring.
Yeah, we don't know a lot about Casey. They have a new coach.
Yes.
Brand new facility too. I mean, I think
Yes,
they put some
yes.
interest into baseball, so that they're starting to see what everybody else sees. Kids are going to practice more, be out there more if they have a great facility, great opportunity. Indoor facility has been a huge advantage for us. It's been a huge advantage for our community. Everybody uses our facility.
That's true.
We make it available to most anyone. I mean, like I said, Mike Fox was over there hitting it today. Tell Coach Gover that. Mike Fox and Xander were over there hitting right when I came back after we had a little bullpen before this. So they were over there. So we just all been blessed, and I don't know how good anyone's going to be because when the bright lights, you cross the white lines, you got to be able to compete, and that's what all of our coaching jobs are. The toughest part now is to make sure they're all on the same page.
We're about ready to wrap this up. 12th region, is there a standout team outside our districts, the 47-40? Is there anybody up north in the county that
West Jessamine and Boyle,
as always?
we're going to be solid. I think Mercer's got some athletes. I don't know what their pitching looks like, but I know West Jessamine does have pitching, and they are defending champions. So somebody's got to beat them.
He's Phil Grundy. He's the head baseball coach at Somerset High School. I consider him a friend, and he's a baseball guy. Coach, good luck this year. We'll see you somewhere soon. Hopefully the weather's going to cooperate. You didn't plug when you're bringing all the best teams in the state in here. Do you want to do that real quickly?
Yes, real quick. March 28th through the 30th, PBR High School Invitational Showcase is going to be here with the top 10 teams.
Top 10 teams in the state.
Actually, 15 are coming. Okay. It's mix and match. All the games are at Somerset Charlie Taylor Field. Going to be a great turnout. Should be a ton of professional and collegiate scouts.
You owe me a Diet Dr. Pepper for remembering that.
That's right. I looked at it.
Phil's going to step out. We're going to share these seats, and Bob Boone's going to climb back aboard, and he'll have Somerset Christian's head man here in just a minute on Lake Cumberland Sports.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different rating services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to come in 17500, here to come in 175.2. I-200 town, down again, here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we've been successfully selling the country since 1965. Ford Brothers Auctioneers. Give us a call or visit us online at FordBrothersInc.com.
Ford Brothers Auctioneers, we're selling the country.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wings and Rings, home of always fresh, never frozen burgers. Wings created your way, joined now by head coach of the Somerset Christian School Cougars, Anthony Edens. And Anthony, this is the third year we've been doing this. Is that right? Or is
I
it
think it's
your
our
fourth?
fourth year.
4 years. All right. Well, and it's going to be your third year, if I'm not mistaken, in the KHSAA then. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, Anthony, good to see you. I'm glad you were able to make it here tonight. And you're going to wrap things up for us here at our coaches show. Practice has started.
It has.
Yeah. How many days you been out?
We've been going at it since November.
Okay.
But not huge numbers, obviously. But,
Right.
the last couple weeks since middle school basketball has ended, we're up about 15 kids up there, and we got a little batting cage area above our gym on the rainy days, and it's pretty crowded. We're splitting them up between weightlifting and hitting, or some little bit of fielding drills or pitching.
Coach, you've been with this program almost really since its inception. Am I right?
Well, they've had a baseball team, but then there was a 2-year period.
Okay.
COVID cut out a season, which my son's senior year, sad, 2020. And the next year there wasn't enough players. But since 2022, when we revived it, I've been the coach there. So.
All right, and you're building the roster. I've talked to some of the other coaches, and when we talk about basketball and Coach Gover and all that, it's not really always a talent thing, but just a depth thing for your squad. Is that right?
It is, and just kind of knowing who we are, and we still want it to be an enjoyable experience. Like, I feel the main call for it is to have a quality experience. So, not try to, even though we're small, they can still get something quality out of it. So we try to schedule good competitive games. There's some on there that we have to play.
Right.
and I was pleased the way we finished the year last year. We ended up losing, I think, 6-1 to Wayne County in our district game.
I think you had them a little nervous for a while, if I'm not mistaken.
A few of what's when you're small and like we are, you have to take your victories. And for me, a victory when you see some of the other guys having to warm up somebody in the bullpen. That's like we'll take that. We'll take that.
That's a Bob Uecker moment right there, if there ever was one. Well, Anthony, let's talk a little bit about your roster a little bit. Go through, tell us a little bit about who they are, what they got, the experience, and what they're going to do for you this year.
Okay, well, we have 3 seniors this year, and there's a possible 4th who hasn't played for us before. I'm still trying to, he's on the fence, probably not going to play, but you're going to recruit up to the day we start. So the 3 seniors, starting off with our catcher, Gavin Lewis. He will be a 4-year starter, started as a freshman for us and has started catcher the whole time. He is one of our co-captains, and he is just a fine young man. I was, on the way over here, I was kind of thinking of some things I want to talk about, and just kind of one of the keys I want is just learn how to enjoy life and enjoy time together. Gavin has kind of set a good example. He's not real verbal, but he is business. He puts in the hard work. He's one of the guys who loves to stick around afterwards and help clean up. He actually went upstairs in our facility upstairs. We share it with some of the other sports, softball, the weightlifting class during the school day. And he stayed up there for probably 2 hours one day just cleaning everything. And he just enjoys serving and working hard. It's no shocker that he's the class president for the school and is helping right now. He's doing fundraising for their senior trip. But Gavin, I just really enjoyed spending time with him because he's just he's just a really good man. I mean, really good. I can call him, he's a good man already. And other seniors, we have our third baseman. So Gavin pitches as well. And our third baseman, Jackson Case, is a senior, and his 3rd year. He started as a sophomore. He was new to the school that year, and he is just a worker. He works hard, and he cut like 30 pounds last year, and I was worried. And he's like, "Don't worry, Coach." I went in there. He was deadlifting 400 and 405.
Wow.
And he's like, "I'm stronger than I ever was." And I mean, he's lean. He had a home run last year. He said his goal is to have 5 this year. But he's no nonsense. In fact, his 2 younger brothers, they're 7th graders this year. They're twins, Ben and Sawyer. He's kind of hard on him. I had to kind of just, I appreciate you holding people to a standard, but I still want them to be, not afraid to be here. I want them to know that I'm happy to have them. So, but he's a natural leader. He leads everybody in the warm-ups, every practice, and another good. In fact, he's dating my niece, and he's somebody I'm proud to have dating my niece. So Jackson's a good guy. And our 3rd senior is Conrad Martin. This will be his 2nd season. He joined us actually, after the season had started last year, in his first at-bat, he got a single, RBI single. So he's just a really happy, he's one of these guys, he was new to the school. You would think coming to a private school that's kind of small and starting out as a junior. In fact, the class that he's in, they're seniors now, they had been together, many of them since preschool. And he fit right in there because he's got such a infectious personality. He's just so much fun to be around, and so he plays second base for us and is improving quite a bit. And he's another one who works hard and does what's asked of him, and you're not going to have any behavioral issues out of a guy like that. So my 3 seniors this year, I couldn't be more proud of the guys, the kind of leadership that we're going to have out of those guys. Now, from there, we have one other 4-year starter this year. Isaiah Hensley is our junior, and he plays about every position that we need him to play. He's the, the stud. I tell him all the time he's an alpha, and try to remind him of his influence that he has over everybody, over the school. And he is a stud. So he's
a basketball player too.
He's our basketball. If you've watched him, he's the guy on defense that's just menacing and creates turnovers constantly. And he brings that same energy to my classroom. Sometimes in chemistry, you don't really need that much energy in chemistry. But he was relentless in their game on senior night in the fourth quarter. I mean, he was still pressing and just going a mile a minute. And but he's probably be one of our top pitchers this year. He had 2 homers last year. I'm looking for him to improve on that. And then as far as after those 4 players, I believe, we got a new player this year. Will Robinson, he was homeschooled and was able to play with Meese Middle last year. So now his mother is teaching middle school science at our school. And he is also dating one of my nieces. He's a very fine young man. And will be playing shortstop for us. And
am I sensing that's part of your recruiting plan to get kids is to just, keep putting, nieces out there to get ball players to come and play baseball for you? I like it.
It would work. I had said that to one of my previous nieces, and I said, "You're not to talk to this young man until you get him to agree to play baseball." And she didn't. She didn't. So that if I tried to do it intentionally, it didn't work. But it has been nice having these young men, and like I said, these upperclassmen are just really, really good kids. So we're going to have. I think it's going to be a very enjoyable experience. In the past. My goal is to also help to train young men, do better men and stuff. But it can get exhausting sometimes, especially if you're like the only one. And in the baseball season, you're spending just so many hours with these young men. And it's nice to have people who are selfless. Right. When there's only one of something left and you watch somebody defer to somebody else, or knowing that a job needs to be done and not pretending like you didn't see it. These are the guys that jump on it like, hey, this needs to be done. Coach needs help. And they run over. And those are the kind of guys you don't get tired. You'd want to spend more time and get a text from your wife, where you at? It's time to come home. I got a couple new players. I'll just go down. Austin Reed is a junior. He's a new player. He's going to be trying out. Peyton Jones is a sophomore. He's going to be trying to, again, I don't have a clue where we're putting these guys yet. We haven't really got to see a whole lot, but some of these guys are going to be starting. We do have another junior, Trey Hogan. He's a 3rd-year player, but he really hasn't been fully committed. So I've been talking to him about his level of commitment and how if you're going to be putting me down as your coach, your commitment level is going to be higher. So we're pretty much going to need him as a starter this year, and he put in some work the last few days in practice, and it's what's most encouraging when they can start seeing the benefits of putting in the work. Then we've got a bunch of. So this year we're going to be having a JV squad as opposed to a middle school team.
Okay.
Last year we had a middle school team. They felt the coach, his name is Ryan Aberly. He's our middle school coach. He felt they were just a little too overmatched. And I don't know if you know the format between middle school. You play full games like you do varsity. The JV format is a little more. It's less formal. You play 3 innings after the varsity game, and they limit each inning to 3 runs. You can only do so much damage. If you don't have the pitcher, there's only so much humiliation that you take there, and you can stop the bleeding. It's, anybody can suffer for a finite period of time. But if you play in a full game, you've learned new levels of suffering.
It gives these young men opportunities to get at bats, to get a chance to field some balls, and they learn from that experience. Plus, they're part of that varsity experience, and hopefully, as you mentioned, your senior leaders kind of take a hold of some of them guys and get them, and you're growing a program.
Yes, so that's going to be the key this year is trying to please all these young guys. So we've got a bigger roster than we've ever had. I'm looking at a list here that's 20. I think it's 19 actually now.
That's fantastic.
So that's between the two squads and trying to keep people happy. As any coach knows, that is a challenge.
It's a challenge.
But there's a lot of potential there. I've got one younger, I'll just list them, Collier Helton and his brother, what is his name on here? Collier and Cooper Helton, two brothers, and lots of potential. Collier is a 7th grader who's going to be starting as our first baseman this year. And he's just, lefty. He's going to be doing a little bit of pitching for us as well, too. Cooper is only 6th grade, so he can play on the JV squad. But we were timing races the other day on the base pass, and he was the fastest one out there as a 6th grader. So,
and that can be a valuable tool, the way we have the courtesy runner rules and the substitution rules at high school baseball. Yeah. And, if a guy, and he gets a chance to play in a game. So, that's an opportunity.
Yep, and these are, again, good kids. That, and I don't want to miss anybody else out here. We have Samuel Guerrero is a new player that's come out, and he's made tremendous strides in just a few days of practice. And we have James Hardy, he told me, Coach, I've already been doing my homework, and he'd never played baseball before. So this was one of the mixed blessings at our school. Our soccer coach tried to retire a couple years ago, and they hired somebody, and he came in and did a really good job, but then he quickly moved on, and they had to coax our old soccer coach back out of retirement. So he did one more season, and he's like, I'm not doing it anymore. So right now they have yet to fill that position, if anybody knows of soccer coaches. But because we don't have a middle school soccer coach right now, we're getting these players, and I've got one chance to try to keep them as baseball players.
There you go.
So that's what we've got here. So one of the things that's probably different for our program than others is there's a lot of opportunity there. So if you're not, but we've also getting a lot of players that have never played baseball. So have the unique aspect of trying to strategize with my seniors and upperclassmen, but I'm also teaching the basic fundamentals of baseball, which is, I really enjoy that part of the game. So we're sitting there doing drills on the tee and trying to teach guys to make it look more natural. And so some of the things I taught in Little League, I'm seeing having to come back out and do that same kind of thing. Oh yeah, Trey Hogan's little brother, Charlie, he'll be playing as well. These are all 7th, 8th graders that I'm talking about here. So we got a lot of 7th and 8th graders. So it's pretty good because we had a couple years at our school, and my daughter's class, they only had 2 boys. So the current sophomores, they now have a few extra boys, which is great. But these are just some of the unique challenges you have, and I think that is about it. So as I went over my roster there, Justin Knuckles is a returning player. He'll be an 8th grader this year, so he'll probably get a starting position. And Joshua Ray is another 8th grader. Joshua Ray, Justin Knuckles, they were outfielders last year, and so we've got about 7 high school upperclassmen on the team, and then I'll be filling spots. So there's also that motivation in practice that your spot is not guaranteed. This is something I kind of had been looking forward to. Did you want to talk about our schedule a little bit?
A little bit. And, last year you you had an overall record. I believe you won 8 games, 8-19. It doesn't sound impressive, but when you look at what you've got numbers-wise and where you've started and all of that, I think people, and I know other coaches are talking about how the fact you're building a program over there, and, hey, you're going to get there. I think, and I think you build a good schedule. You've obviously got your district, 48 district games. You throw in a few of your other Christian school opponents, but I also see some of the Class A type teams. I like the looks of your schedule, and I think it's competitive, but you got a chance to put quite a few ball games in the victory column this year. What is your philosophy when you build this schedule?
I try to find, I don't want to just fluff the schedule, so I'll try to find teams that I feel like we can be competitive with, or maybe even just lose by a couple runs. Ones that will challenge us. There's some on there that we have to play.
Sure.
Wayne County, we've never played them competitive in the regular season. That's why I was so pleased during our district. Southwestern, last year, and that's something I put a stop to this. Our seniors took their senior trip during our week of playing Southwestern. So we took 2 3-inning butt kickings and got out of there. I'm hoping this year that we're going to be much more competitive.
I get it.
These upperclassmen we got, like I said, if they're fierce competitors, they hate to lose. And I think we're going to be a much tougher out this year, and I'm expecting to get maybe 1 or 2 minimum district wins this year.
All right, that sounds good. Lofty goals indeed, but certainly achievable. Tell us a little bit about who you have helping you coach and do some of the things that need to be done to produce a baseball team.
Yes, so right now I have the middle school math teacher, Jacob Simpson. He is currently committed to me, but there's possibilities that he might be moving on to something else. He's got a girlfriend, the out-of-town girlfriend, so we're not sure there. But he's committed for this season for me. He was my assistant last year, and he's the just excellent assistant. Does everything you ask of him. He's some of his strengths and his things that he's better at, like he's real big into style. So every time I see him walking down the hallway, he's decked out in matching stuff.
Look good, play good.
Yeah, so that's kind of his gifting. I kind of forget about that. I'm always into what drill do we need to be working on next, and who do I need to move. But he's good at that. He also helped design a few some sweatshirts we're getting ready to get, and so he's. Like I said, as a young man, I wish I could have him longer. So I'll be looking for another assistant going next year. But a lot of it's kind of just me during class. Sometimes I'm sitting there scheduling people. We just had to move around some of our all-A district game today, and I had texting other coaches and working on our schedule, and then fundraising. I've stopped by picking up a check after school today for fundraisers, and just. Love it. This is the kind of, I was telling, my daughter's getting married, Aaliyah, the one.
Yes.
She's getting married in May, and I'll be officiating her wedding in May.
Fantastic.
So they were kind of scheduling homecoming, and they're like, so when are we going to be doing, not homecoming, prom. They were scheduling prom, and so I'm in class, and she's calling down, what about this date? And I was like, well, we've already got a game scheduled in, and so we don't want to do it on the date of your daughter's wedding.
I think a wedding at home plate would be good. Probably couldn't talk her into that.
No, we found a good little venue in Wayne County that we're pretty excited about. Yeah.
All right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time to talk to us. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
My wife, Tanya.
Yeah.
I love you, Tanya, and just thankful to be at Somerset Christian School, and Dr. Gleaves and Al Gover, the athletic director. We appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Folks, pay attention. Somerset Christian School, they made some noise in the basketball arena this year, and I think they're going to be making some noise in the spring sports as well. And as you said, it's not always wins and losses. You want to win, I know that, but when the kids come back and tell you thank you years from now, you'll appreciate the efforts, and I know your kids do too, and your parents do as well. So, yes. All right, that is Anthony Edens of the Somerset Christian Cougars. And I think that's it. We're going to wrap things up here from Buffalo Wings and Rings. That's hard to believe, but we are getting ready to play baseball and softball. Be sure and check out LakeCumberlandSports.com. We'll have all of our schedules up. And we still got a lot of basketball left to be played, especially with district and regional tournaments coming up in the very near future. Again, LakeCumberlandSports.com. I want to say thank you to Buffalo Wings and Rings for being our host tonight. They're always gracious, and it's a great venue, and had a lot of fun talking to folks out there. Remember, always fresh, never frozen burgers. Wings created your way, and tell you what, if you can't get to the games, come on out to Buffalo Wings and Rings and watch them on the big screen with family and friends. That's going to do it. I'm Bob Boone. I want to, for Mike Kerr, say thank you. Also say thank you to Pat Harris, who's producing on this side. Of course, we have Jeremiah Jones, who's been producing on the other side with Robert Reed doing player interviews. Those will be posted up soon. And we definitely want to thank Kevin and Kelly Lloyd for getting us all together so we could do this for you. Till next time, so long, everybody.
At Toyota of Somerset, we're known for great service before and after the sale, and so much more. Since 1988, Toyota of Somerset has been supporting our local communities. And we sell and service what a number of different reading services call the most fuel-efficient, dependable, and safe vehicles on the road. Toyota. Toyota of Somerset, South Highway 27 Somerset, and online at toyotaofsomerset.com. At Toyota of Somerset, we're all about
Here to come in 175-100, here to come in 175-2. I 200 down, got it here to come in a quarter.
Like successful sports programs, putting together a successful auction takes a lot of planning, organization, attention to detail, and teamwork. And you need dedicated and committed people pulling together. At Ford Brothers Auction,